Ladies and gentlemen, the communities that make up the Brandon Valley School District would like to welcome you to Brandon Valley High School and to Lynx Football. Our guest this evening with a record of 4-0 and ranked second in AAA high school football power points, please welcome the Rough Riders from Sioux Falls and Roosevelt High School. Against our 3-1 ranked fifth in AAA power points, our Brandon Valley Lynx. Introducing first the cheerleaders for the Rough Riders. Haley Brown, Brycelyn Klaus, Taylor Cordell, Abigail Johnson, Haley Creer, Mackenzie Leach, Morgan Pansich, Brielle Red, Chloe Stahl, Allison Tolo, and Raina Immaker. Cheer coach Kiana Party.
What?
Now introducing the starting offense for Sioux Falls Roosevelt Rough Riders. At center, number 68, a 6'2", 359-pound senior, Mason Amato. At left tackle, number 63, a 5'8", 235-pound senior, Kurt Solberg. At right tackle, number 66, a 6'3", 275-pound junior, Ben Coles. At left guard, number 65, a 6'2", 265-pound sophomore, Nick Pruitt. At right guard, number 67, a 6'3", 290-pound sophomore, Sam Coles. At tight end, number 84, a 6'2", 185-pound junior, Caden Jordan. At split end, number 3, a 6'1", 185-pound senior, Devlin McManus. At flanker, number 2, a 6'2", 170-pound senior, Jacob Betancourt. At slot, number 6, a 5'11", 185-pound sophomore, Tyler Feldkamp. At running back, number 32, a 5'10", 185-pound junior, Jaden Bourne. And at quarterback, number 12, a 6'5", 205-pound junior, Brady Dannenbring. Assistant coaches, Ed Whiting, Mike Leach, Micah Nordine, Vince Benedetto, Ryan Rank, Joey Nelson, Ross Peterson, Mr. Mike Greco, Spencer Flackus, John Scaldi, Eric DeYoung, and Kevin Knapp. Head coach, Kim Nelson. Introducing our Brandon Valley cheerleaders. Amari Allen, Bailey Harvey, Helena Hendrick, Maddie Notes, Anna Nuss, Brittany Ryder, Lauren Ruhlman, Emily Went, Reagan Bly, Josie Bowers, Grace Hanson, Sydney Hayes, Keely Kyleman, Ashley Lohr, Courtney Moeller, and Sophia Van Horn. Cheer coach Katie Lane. Introducing the defensive starters for the Lynx. At defensive tackle, number 65, a 6', 280-pound senior, Sam Kromke. At one defensive end, number 53, a 6'5", 205-pound senior, Tanner Neuenhaus. At the other defensive end, number 44, a 6', 235-pound sophomore, Parker Reed. At nose guard, number 52, a 6', 280-pound senior, Noah Hofer.
Coming live from Brandon, South Dakota, at Brandon Valley High School, it's time for Lynx Football right here on Lynx TV. I'm Kyle Roki. Ken
Right there, the
McEwen is going to join
linebacker,
us
number
in just a
33,
moment.
6'2",
But boy, have we got a
senior,
matchup for you.
Isaiah
This might be
Campbell.
the game of the week, game of the month. Could go down as game of the year, at least so far, until we get to the playoffs. The Brandon Valley Lynx, coming in ranked 5th overall at 2-2, are getting ready to take on the second-ranked Roosevelt Rough Riders, who come in 4-0. Roosevelt coming off a win last week, but before that, they had a huge victory against Sioux Falls, Washington, shutting out the Warriors 29-0. In the first week of the season, Brandon Valley lost to Washington 28-14. So we are going to learn a lot in this game as Ken is just joining us in studio now. Ken, great to have you here. Great to have you back. Wade Ellis did a great job filling in for you, but we did miss you. We're excited. The Lynx defensive starters just got announced. We're going to talk about both defenses in just a second, but I've been thinking about this all week. This is the game we're going to learn a lot about our quarterback, Tommy Skolton, facing the best defense in the entire state of South Dakota high school football, the Roosevelt Rough Riders. This is going to be his game to win tonight.
Well, I'm glad to be back. You know, it's
by the skin of your teeth, buddy.
I took an early vacation, and week one, the schedule being at home on Lynx TV. Like Kyle was saying, you're looking at a massive defensive team that's super fast. And here's our national anthem.
Brandon American Legion Post 318 and the Valley Springs American Legion Post 131. Also a special guest, we have a 2017 Brandon Valley High School graduate, Petty Officer 3rd Class Gary Hubers, carrying the state flag. God bless our veterans and active military and all they do for our nation and our local communities. Ladies and gentlemen, will you please rise for the playing of our national anthem? Proper etiquette is to remove all headwear. Face the flag and put your hand over your heart. Active duty military personnel or veterans not in uniform may salute the flag. Playing our national anthem will be the Brandon Valley Trumpet Line under the direction of Drum Major Emily Hensley. Ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem. Thank you.
A few moments, Ken. Break this down a little bit for me. We talked about it. I mentioned that I thought this game was going to be a lot about Tommy Skolton. You said Roosevelt's defense is fast. They're strong. They're athletic. They've got age on their side. Got a lot of great leaders. Brandon Valley's defense ain't no slouch, though. They got a solid defense too. So if you're looking for smash mouth, classic, hard hitting defensive football, you found it right here.
You're exactly right. And here's the thing, okay, we talk about their defense and shutting out Washington in the past, a couple games ago, and that's a tall task, to say the least. Last week they gave up some points to a pretty good quarterback, okay?
That's exactly what I was thinking too.
And so where do we see this defense become as that defense is growing? I know we're focusing on Roosevelt a little bit, but their offense is super, super powerful too. With Brady Dannenberg, Brady's one of the best quarterbacks in this state. He's a big 6'5" quarterback. I coached him in the 8th grade in the FBU national team out of South Dakota, and the other kid, Tyler Feldkamp. Their slot, kind of scat receiver, does a lot of jet motions, does a lot of things out of the backfield. You'll see him at wide receiver a ton tonight.
Only a sophomore.
Here's the thing: he's the best player in the state, hands down. And I coached him too in the 8th grade, and that's a tall task for me to say that, being a coach and coaching those guys. Feldkamp can turn the game in an instant. On kickoff return, Washington knows that. Punt return and at the wide receiver position. But let's focus back to what Brandon Valley's doing, okay? You knock off a Metro team, okay? And that's a tall task. I don't care who they are.
No doubt.
It's even people are going to say it's Lincoln or whatever it is, but Lincoln's still all right. They're pretty good. But they're a Metro team. The size of the school, look at our school compared to these schools. We got half the students, I believe. I mean, and so for us to compete at this type of level says a lot about we need to focus on our coaching staff and these kids. And I know we're a little bit young. If we go to their second string, if that's what you want to call it, the second guys that are going to come in tonight. There's a lot of sophomores on that football field. But here's the thing, Jesse Steffel. I compared Jesse to a Tyler Feldkamp. Jesse on the Lynx sideline can change the game also, defensively and offensively. Let's see if they use him a little more on offense against a really good defense tonight. It's going to be a super special night here in Brandon.
Mooch Knaus and Tate Johnson are going to be back to receive the kickoff here. The Roosevelt Rough Riders won the toss. They deferred to the second half, so the Lynx will receive to start this game. And Ken, I know you weren't here. Not sure how much of the game you got to check out a couple weeks ago when the Lynx took on Aberdeen Central and had an explosive second and third quarter. Ended up winning that game, but got off to a very, very slow start in that game. And if you get off to a slow start in this game, you're going to be in some trouble.
And we're on a fast surface. This is my first time seeing this thing, and it is beautiful. I know the picture, I was just at home a little while ago, and the picture looks beautiful on Channel 226 on Alliance Communications, and we want to thank them for broadcasting this live.
Devlin McManus back to kick, and off we go. Lynx and Rough Riders, as this one is going to go into the end zone for a touchback, as Mooch Knaus couldn't quite handle the line drive kick, a monster kick by McManus. So here comes Tommy Skolton and this Lynx offense, who, like we talked about in the first game here at the Pigskin Classic, I thought Tommy played really, really, really well. The entire Lynx offense was quiet almost the entire first quarter. Aberdeen Central actually had the lead, so they're going to have to get out to a faster start here tonight. Only one wide receiver out wide at the top of your screen. And a full backfield. 1st and 10 for the Lynx. It's a play fake and a pass dumped off to the right side. It is caught by Hansen, and Andrew Hansen's going to have a short gain. If anything, they maybe give him 1.5 yards, 2 yards.
One thing about you were talking about Tommy Skolton, Kyle, is Tommy in the beginning of games, and I was at that Lincoln game, kind of short-arming the ball a little bit, and we saw that on that pass right there. He needs to just fire it. Just let it go, okay? Trust himself and just let it go.
Second down, trips down to the bottom of your screen. Second and 9 from the 21, Skolton back to throw. Now he's going to run, and he cuts, and he is down to the 26-yard line. Looked like number 35, Eli Lonehart on the tackle there. So this is kind of what the Lynx want to do. They want to grind out drives. They need to pick up 4 yards here to get a first down, and Hansen's checking back into the game.
And you look at the Roosevelt, their linebackers, and it looks like they're kind of playing if we look at it, maybe it's a 4-3, but it looks like they'll drop one of their linebackers down, and now it kind of traditionally comes into a 4-4 with the safety coming down.
Alt off bottom of your screen, that is Ty McCann in the slot. Skolton going deep. He's got his man, overthrown, incomplete. Ty McCann was there. Ooh, he just couldn't quite get to it. That is out of bounds, and the Lynx will have to punt. I do like that play design, though. Not bad.
Well, what it's doing is it's making those safeties stay high. They're going to have to stay high. You cannot let this defense just predicate on and make your offense be one-dimensional in hitting the flats like we saw the first two passes.
So the Lynx will punt, and that is Jory Sorensen. We talked about McManus a little earlier, and he's actually the punter, the kicker, and the punt returner. So won't have a lot to remember with that. Boy, that pass to McCann was just overthrown. And that could have been huge. Decent punt. It takes a Roosevelt bounce, though. This is going to be trouble. Rough Riders are going to have the ball at the 48-yard line to start this drive. The Harry Buck team at Hague Realtors are the people to call in the Brandon Valley area for all your real estate needs. Call Harry, 605-366-0221, or Miriam Hackler, 630-400-4860, or Susan Anderson, 605-201-1087. They are your hometown team of real estate professionals. Just go to harrybuck.com to learn more about available properties in your area. So first down and 10 for Roosevelt. And they're going to throw on first down, and they're going to go for it all here, and it is knocked away beautifully. Incomplete flag. Pass was intended down the left side to McManus, and boy, oh boy, I do not know. They're going to call pass interference here, but I am not sure about the call.
Well, one thing you don't want to happen is the refs controlling this game, and you want these two teams to be physical. And once you call a pass interference that's an iffy call, like you just talked about, Kyle, what that's going to do is that's going to soften up a defense. It doesn't allow them to be so aggressive, and that's what they're going to call.
Well, I listen, I thought that was a great play by Jackson Hilton. A physical, but, you know, I didn't think that there was much to that. But regardless, it's going to be first down for Roosevelt, already plus side of the field. Dannenbring sends two people out in motion. And they're going to hand it off to the right side, and one broken tackle, and eaten up in the backfield is Jaden Bourne. Tanner Neuenhuis down there on the tackle with a couple of others, and we got a penalty marker here. And I think they're pointing at Brandon Valley. I think this will go against the Lynx again.
Be interesting what the call is here is that it's a hold.
It's going to be against Roosevelt? Okay. I saw them pointing at the Brandon Valley defense again. But, yep, this is going to be holding against Roosevelt.
Good sideline-to-sideline defense there. You want your defense to flow well, and that's what they did there. Now, watch Roosevelt as they may go into an empty set here, which it looks like, with 5 wide receivers. As you got, now they're going to put Feldkamp in the backfield.
So first and 25 now. Dannenbring's got Betancourt in the backfield, it looks like. Excuse me, that's going to be Joey Ostermeyer, number 5. And Dannenbring is going to pitch it out to the right side, and it is to Tyler Feldkamp, who's going to be tackled. And, you know, gave up a nice chunk of yards, but when it's first and 25, I mean, that's okay.
Well, and field position is going to be big. I don't care if it's the first minute of the game or the last minute of the game. Field position is massive in this type of game. You have two top 4 teams in the state battling each other, and it's going to come down to field position, turnovers. Who wins that turnover battle?
Feldkamp's listed as a wide receiver, but he's been in the backfield most of the game so far. Second down, Denenbrigg from the gun. They're going to go a play fake, and they're going to dump it out to the left, and the pass is caught by Betancourt. And Betancourt is down the left side. Nice run after the catch was made, and he's ushered out of bounds at the 28-yard line. So that's a third and manageable coming up for Roosevelt.
And that's what they want. Every offense wants a third and manageable, and you just talked about it, Kyle. Being manageable on first and second down, bringing up a good third down. You always want to gain, and I know that it was more than 7 yards on those two plays, but you always want a 3rd and 2 because it opens up the playbook.
And it's right around 3rd and 2. In fact, it's 3rd and 4. Feldkamp in the backfield. Out wide go Kussler. And they're going to hand it off. Right side, good pursuit by Hansen. Can't quite get there, but he's knocked down. Beautiful play by Jesse Steffel and great pursuit by the Lynx defense. 4th down.
There's that defense again, Kyle. We talked about it's two very, very good defenses, and they're going to try to isolate Feldkamp. They're going to try to swing him to the outside. You won't see him run any type of dive, anything like that. They're going to get him out in space.
Well, it's 4th down coming up, and Roosevelt's offense is on the field. McManus out wide at the top of your screen with Ostermeyer timeout.
Confusion by Roosevelt as Feldkamp wanted to go to the left there into the slot. They motioned him back into the running back, and it looks like they are a little confused, and that's a good thing. 4th and 6 with 7:37 to go in this tough ball game. Alliance Communications is the leading internet, cable TV, and phone provider in Brandon Valley area. Alliance customers have access to 100% fiber to the home, which puts them light years ahead of most households throughout the country. We are proud sponsors of Lynx TV. The First National Bank, our student checking account is perfect for those 25 years and younger. It provides convenient access to tools like e-alerts and mobile banking while on the go. We are proud supporters of all things Brandon, including the new baseball complex, the First National Bank Field at Aspen Park.
Been there yet?
I have once.
Beautiful.
It is.
I had to umpire on it in 95-degree weather on Memorial Day weekend. That was, I could do without that, but it is absolutely beautiful. 4th down. 4th and 6 from the 36. Pass to the left is caught for a 1st down. Broken tackle down the left sideline. And a cold-blooded connection to Tyler Feldkamp. And Tyler Feldkamp. Yeah, it's Feldkamp, and it's going to be a 1st down for Roosevelt. That was a great throw and a great decision from Denenbrigg.
Yeah, and we talked about it pregame. They're going to get him the ball. You've already seen 3 touches on him, and it's in the first quarter. You're going to see a ton of touches. I would anticipate to Feldkamp 20 to 30 touches in this ball game, and you have to isolate him. You got to know where he's at all game, and they just picked up a big 1st down.
Denenbrigg, fumble, and Denenbrigg falls on top of it. So Neuenhuis falls on top of him, and not something you generally see from Roosevelt there, a fumbled snap, but the Lynx will take it because that's going to bring up 2nd and goal from the 14.
Be very interesting what Coach Christensen on the defensive side of the ball for Brandon, if they try to box Feldkamp in, and I know we're focusing on Feldkamp, well, deserving so. If they try to jam him at the line, play a safety high, we'll see. He's single covered now, and they know that he's in man coverage.
They hand it off, flag on the play. The handoff was to Jordan Bourne. And Jaden Bourne is stopped. Hansen was there, and this is going to be illegal formation against the Riders. And that'll bring up a 2nd and goal from the 19. So Roosevelt, who did a good job on the last set of downs, because they had 1st and 25, they ended up getting a 1st down actually after a 4th down conversion, if you're just tuning in. And that is against Roosevelt, illegal formation. And they're going to decline the penalty.
That's a smart decision by that coaching staff to do that, because you never want to give a high-powered offense more chances. Even though it delegates some yards, to me, you never give them more chances to score.
2nd down from the 19 versus 3rd down from the 14. You got to get all 14. I agree with you. And if it was a false start, they wouldn't have had a choice. The play wouldn't have counted. Illegal formation makes it so. 3rd and goal from the 12. Handoff up the middle. Nothing doing. A pack of Lynx is there. Isaiah Campbell was there. And so was Caden Johnson, and they stuck Caden Bourne.
And it looks like they're going to try the field goal.
Yep.
And so
that's a good job.
If they do, if Brandon Valley does hold it to a field goal or no points, that's a massive win by that defense early part of this ball game, because they were driving. But Roosevelt stuck themselves in the foot twice on big penalties.
Let's hope Daniel Carlson's kicking for Roosevelt. 28-yard try, left hash, or at least near it. High snap. And it's good.
And the kick is good.
Kick was good, and it's 3-0 Roosevelt.
With 5:18 to go, and like we talked about, Kyle, that's a win. I know 3 points is 3 points, but that's a win against that offense. That's a big win for our defense. And now offensively, come back and sustain a drive. Get your running game going a little bit. I understand that the Roosevelt linebackers, I'm telling you, when I watched that game against Washington, those Roosevelt linebackers were big and they flew. I mean, they were sideline to sideline big. So we'll see offensively what we do.
We got some big corn-fed offensive linemen. We might be all right.
Right.
We got to establish that running game. Absolutely. You were saying?
The Pizza Ranch, proud supporters of the Brandon Valley activities and the finest pizza in town. Bring the family for our buffet before the game, or order our delicious boasted chicken or pizza after the game. Call us at 605-582-6322, and we will deliver to your doorstep, tailgate, or wherever you may be in town. Go Lynx.
Got a line drive kick. Going to get a chance at this one. And a nice return out to the 35-yard line. Mark Muchkanaus. He's a sophomore running back, 165-pound, 5'7". And we talked about it. I talked about it with Wade Ellis a couple weeks ago. Tons of sophomores that's showing a lot of talent for the Lynx. And, right now maybe not a lot of them are in the defensive starting lineup, but they got to make their name known on special teams. Well,
just like Roosevelt's doing, giving Feldkamp a lot of touches, I believe Jesse Steffel needs to get massive touches in this ball game on offense.
First down for Skolten. They pitch it out wide to the right. Jesse Steffel. And Steffel for about 3 yards. Looks like he was tackled on the play by Adam Kussler. It might have been his brother Aaron as well.
And I know Jesse, he plays defense, and I know it wears on him, just like in that Lincoln game. Man, it was where he was playing both sides of the ball, running, playing running back. He was out for a little with a back injury, but Jesse needs to touch the ball quite a few times in this ball game.
Well, it's a big game when Eric Thorstenson's here from KSFY. And he sure is down there. Here's a handoff on 2nd down. Hard-hitting defense for Roosevelt. Runs into Tate Johnson, or maybe vice versa. But this is, again, going to be a 3rd and manageable. The Lynx went deep on 3rd and 4 on the last drive. It's 3rd and 5 now. What do they do, Ken?
Well, why not run a little screen? The defense is going to come. They are going to come fast. They're going to try to pin their ears back, and they may blitz. They may blitz a linebacker and catch him in a hole quick where you think that blitz is going to come from, and maybe stick him with a screen real quick to the halfback.
Extra protection in. Altoff wide left. Skolten. They're going to go deep again for Altoff, and once again it's overthrown just a smidge. And you'll give this to, you were talking about him short-arming he's not short-arming him right now. He's just a little bit over the top.
Let it go. But in order to find a good rhythm for your quarterback, let him complete a couple in the flat little passes. Let him get some completions under him to get his confidence rolling a little bit. We don't always have to hit the home run on third down.
Yeah.
It's third down and 5.
Yeah.
It's manageable.
And I 100% agree with that. Oh, this kick is bobbled, and they just do get it away for Sorensen. And on the return, broken tackle, and Tyler Feldkamp is tackled. I agree with you, but boy, I understand him taking those shots. Carter and McCann were wide open.
Well, and the reason
the
reason the offense is doing it, if you look on TV here, folks, or on YouTube, is that the offense is doing it right. The play calling is doing it right because they're in man coverage. And so they don't have a safety deep, and that's why they're trying to attack them deep.
Yep.
They're in total man coverage, but also a screen's going to work perfect on that.
Yes.
They brought the house on that. They brought 7 on that play on defense.
Wow. Pump fake, and look out! Here comes the pressure, and Dennenberg is stuck by Devin Jones. Big time loss, second down.
And that's a called blitz by Coach Christensen there, the defensive coordinator for Brandon Valley, as you all know. That's a good blitz. They made him roll, and you don't want a right-handed quarterback rolling right. You want him rolling left because he's got to then stop and fire, and that takes a lot of motion out of him. And that's a great call by the defensive coordinator.
Second and 17 from the 26. Dennenberg throws it to the right. Pass is caught by Feldkamp. Short gain on that play. Jesse Steffel and Cade Johnson were both there. They're going to give the tackle to Johnson. And it'll be 3rd and 10, and this is a huge third down. I know it's only the first quarter. We're winding down the first quarter, and every single play is going to matter in this game.
But we're winning. We're winning on first and second down on defense, and that's why these third and longs are coming for Roosevelt. I don't care if they're causing their own penalties. You're still winning defensively.
Third down, 4 wide receivers. Dennenberg going deep. Almost intercepted. And I think there was some miscommunication there. Jackson Hilton got his paws on it, but it was just a little bit too tall. And the Lynx are going to get the ball back. Excellent defense on that play. Matt Christensen is going to have to dial up some serious stuff tonight, and so far he has.
Well, one thing that we'll talk about throughout the night is who wins the line of scrimmage right now. Defensively for the Lynx, they are winning the line of scrimmage, okay? And what I mean, the defensive line's is getting pressure, and that's going to be massive in this game.
Absolutely love that Devin Jones blitz. Fair catch. Butch Canals calls the fair catch, and the Lynx are going to have decent field position here at the 35-yard line.
The Brandon Community Foundation is a permanent charitable endowment that supports activities that improve the quality of life for all ages in Brandon and Valley Springs. For more information, go to our website at brandoncf.org. Go Lynx.
First down for the Lynx, trips out wide to the right. Tommy Skolden. They're going to hand it off. And a nice run on first down by Tate Johnson. Johnson's going to get about 3 or 3.5 yards there.
And I really think, Kyle, that they need to establish that run.
Yeah.
Just keep on running the ball. Don't play into Roosevelt's game where they want you to start chasing. Just control the clock. Continue to control the clock. We're almost at the end of the first quarter, and it's went real fast because the Lynx are running the ball some.
And 2nd and 7. We're going to run it again. Johnson again, not this time. I believe that was Aaron Kusler on the tackle, number 8. And his brother Adam got up there. He's celebrating as well. Boy, twin brothers, Aaron and Adam Kusler, both 6'2", both 210 pounds, or right around there.
One
athletic defense.
One thing you want to talk about is that running to the short side of the field doesn't give you much, and that Brandon Valley and the coaching staff, I believe, is just keeping them honest by running that way.
57 seconds to play in the first quarter. Tommy Skolton, he's going to throw on third down. Can the Lynx finally get a third down conversion? Yes, they can. Pass is caught by Althoff. First down across midfield to the 49.
And that's a confidence builder by Mr. Skolton. That's a good play. You roll him out, get him outside of that pressure, get him outside the hash so those defensive linemen aren't pinning down him. Roll right because they blitzed, okay, from the right. So you put your quarterback in a great position. Roosevelt did because they blitzed from the right, rolling that quarterback to the right, which you never want to do. You never want to force a right-handed quarterback to roll right. You want him to roll left, like we talked about what our defense did.
Lynx in Roosevelt territory for the first time tonight. Skolton. They're going deep again. Althoff again, and this one is incomplete, underthrown. Althoff actually did a good job playing some defense there as the pass was almost intercepted by Tucker Large. And it'll be second down.
And by them playing man coverage, and that's why we're like we talked about trying the 25 to 30-yard pass there in the air, they're not respecting our deep game. If they go man like that, no safety side, they're not respecting that. Make them respect it. Don't always try to hit outside the hashes. Hit down the middle of the field. There's no safety there. Mm-hmm. Try to hit right down the middle of the field, inside those hashes.
Cole Ciliuson in, Carter Althoff out. Play fake from Tommy. And a dangerous throw is incomplete. Intended for Cole Siegfried, the tight end. And it'll be 3rd and 10. That one was just a little bit errant.
What we like to see is that so you don't see the safety. The safety. So if you go to a spread offense, in which we're in right now, mm-hmm. and you have that tight end, just run him up the seam. Make that safety. That safety's coming down. 21 is coming down right now. He's going to stay high, but he's going to swing over. That tight end position is wide open, right down the seam.
3rd and 10, pressure. Skolton gets away, throws it left, incomplete. Good effort by Skolton and McCann. Skolton's down. Took a hard hit. But he's a tough kid, and he's going to be all right. I like that Lynx drive for the most part. I like the play calling so far in this game, but boy, this Roosevelt defense they're a lot. But the Lynx flip the field.
Don't get out of your game plans. Continue to run the ball. That was about an 80 to 20 drive pass to run.
And this is a bomb of a punt. Good punt. Stay in. Nice punt by Jory Sorensen. And it's down by Caden Johnson inside the 10-yard line. This is a good opportunity for the Lynx defense to pin their ears back.
Yeah, and McKinney Olson Insurance. Steve Tripp and the team at McKinney Olson Insurance is a proud supporter of Lynx TV. We are your longtime local insurance agency, and we will go to the extra mile to gain your trust and give you peace of mind that we have you covered.
So here come the Lynx defense and Roosevelt's offense. Both defenses looking as good as advertised so far. Dannenberg from the gun. And they're going to hand it off. Not much going there. Jaden Bourne again. So we saw Tyler Feldkamp. We got a penalty marker as well. We saw Tyler Feldkamp in the backfield for the most part on that first drive. Haven't really seen him since.
Yeah, and so they're trying
to swing him. He's
arguing
with the referees now, too.
They were trying to swing him on sweep plays, quick sweeps out to the outside of the wide side of the field, let him use everything. For the most part, he's been bottled up except for that one first down catch, and that's what the Lynx need to do. I believe that when you have a fast player like that, jam him at the line and let that jam sit there in a zone and let the safety pick him up after that. But don't let him have a free release off the line. Because players like that, if you give them a free release, they will run all over you.
And another penalty, another illegal formation penalty against the Roosevelt Rough Riders. And that is the end of the first quarter. A very, very entertaining first quarter as the Rough Riders leading the Brandon Valley Lynx 3-0. Taco John's. Sign up for the Taco John's Rewards app on your phone for lots of deals and surprises. We have new and exciting products to choose from, and it's always made fresh just for you. All of us at Taco John's want to thank you for your business. Go Lynx.
And the Brandon Valley Area Chamber of Commerce is a proud sponsor of Lynx TV. The Chamber of Commerce is dedicated to help speak for and support local businesses. A strong local business community is vital for the positive growth of the Brandon Valley area. So remember, when you buy Brandon, you support all things local. Go Lynx.
Schoeneman Construction specializes in residential and commercial construction, serving the Brandon area for nearly 40 years. They truly are builders of reputation. Give Stan a call at 605-366-7842 for all your construction needs.
The Brandon Valley Athletic Boosters Club are proud supporters of all Brandon Valley athletic programs, including Lynx TV.
Yeah.
Go Lynx.
Yeah, Lynx TV. Yeah.
And finally, the Brandon Valley Journal is your local news source covering all 11 Brandon Valley sports every week with stories and photos. You can get all the local news in print and online. If you haven't already subscribed, do it today by calling 605-582-9999.
Yeah, you should. You should do that.
100%.
Nope. Yeah, you should. Brandon Valley Journal. We get the Brandon Valley Journal now. It's really good. I might write a op-ed or something for it. Pass to the right side is caught for a first down. Nice throw to Jacob Betancourt. It'll be a first down for Roosevelt, moving the chains and getting them out of the shadow of their own end zone.
And one thing that Roosevelt's trying to do is get outside the hashes with their offense and use their speed. To me, both defenses flow so well sideline to sideline. That outside game's not going to work all night for both defense. What offense is going to attack up the middle where there's no safety? You see that for Brandon Valley here too.
Pass is nobody's home, incomplete. Not quite sure where that pass was going from Dannenberg. And that'll bring up a second down. Althoff was being looked at by Chad, the trainer. But looks like he's just fine. We obviously don't, especially with high schoolers, want to speculate anything. But he was being checked out, and he is standing on the sideline right now. Looking tough as ever. Trips down at the bottom of your screen. Dannenbring is going to throw, and he's going to roll, and he's going to run, and he's going to meet Jesse Steffel, who hits him hard below the waist, and it's going to be down to the 25-yard line, so a gain of about 5 yards.
Dannenbring, for being 6'5", is pretty athletic. You can see it there. He can really get to the outside of the pocket. But it's going to be interesting if they try to force him with the blitz to roll left here and get him out of his throwing motion, because you know what they're going to do. They're going to try to throw the ball. But one thing you got to look out for, and it may be that they're setting it up here, is, as you can see, Feldkamp will probably come into the trip set. No, he's going to be single receiver high there. I thought maybe they would try a screen to the outside, a bubble screen to one of the receivers.
Another flag, and I think once again this is going to go against Roosevelt, and it does, delay of game. And that is a huge penalty, because now it brings up a 3rd and 10.
Well, penalty-wise, I believe that's 4 or 5 penalties right now for Roosevelt. They've really, every one of their drives has been killed by a penalty. And so we'll see here, as 3rd and 10, that's never a position that you want to be on offensively. We'll see what they do here. Watch the slot receiver try to work up the middle of the seam here.
Dannenbring throws it incomplete. No flags. Another big stop for the Brandon Valley defense. And I think the Lynx have Denenbring a little rattled out there right now. I think they've run in some schemes right now that maybe he hasn't seen yet.
Coach, to me right now, Coach, there's always a chess match between the offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator on each sideline. And right now, Coach Christensen is really winning that matchup with the offensive coordinator on the other side.
Another flag here, and I actually talked to Coach C on last Saturday. That's another false start penalty. We were at the wedding of now Allie Guthmiller, but Allie Kane, who was a great girls basketball player here, won a state championship her sophomore year, and Adam Guthmiller, one of the better linebackers, I think, in Brandon Valley history. And those two got married, and I got to talk to him a little bit, and he was excited. He wasn't nervous or anything. He was excited. That one was almost blocked. Flag on the play. This is going to be roughing the kicker, which is too bad because it would have been excellent field position. Is that an automatic first down then?
It depends on if it's a personal foul or if it's running into the kicker. It's only I believe it's a 10-yard penalty.
Well,
we're going to see.
It was, I mean, he got his money's worth with the hit, but I don't think it was intentional. But it looks like this is roughing, so it's going to be a first down for Roosevelt.
And that's a good call.
I know.
You can go roughing or you can go running into. Running into would not give you the first down.
Yeah.
Roughing does, and so right there you had them pinned back. We talked about Roosevelt kind of shooting themselves in the foot. Right there, Brandon Valley's defense or their special teams shoots them in the foot.
Shout out to Chris Brown and Stuart Peschel, who are listening right now on Lynx TV. Couldn't get up to go to the game, I guess. Thanks for listening, guys. Denenbring from the shotgun on first down. They hand it off to the right side, and this is a good-looking run on first down. Jaden Bourne is tackled and pushed out of bounds by Johnson.
And if you look at quarter by quarter, and most coaching staffs do this, they want to win. They go quarter by quarter. They want to win every quarter.
Yep.
That's what you want to do. You don't want to. You ultimately want to win the ball game, but you got to win quarters. And to me, I keep on saying their offense, Roosevelt's offense, is pretty top notch. Giving up 3 points, you win that quarter.
Roosevelt with 59 total yards of offense. Brandon Valley with just 26. Denenbring is hit as he threw. It's incomplete. And this Lynx pressure is really getting to Denenbring.
Well, they're bringing it from all angles. You know, they're either bringing a safety. They may bring they're even bring their nickel corner, if that's what you want to call it. They're bringing them off the edge, and that's really messing things up because what Roosevelt wants to do offensively, you can see it. They want to get into quick rhythm offense. They want to hit you quick. And when you're bringing that blitz, that quickness, because we're jamming up to the line, we're not giving them free yards, as you can see. We're up to the line of scrimmage with our corners, and we're not giving them anything quick.
Denenbring throws too tall, incomplete. Good coverage on the play by Caden Johnson, but it was too tall. I think it was intended for Tyler Feldkamp over there, who's actually had a pretty quiet game so far. He hasn't done much.
Yeah, they're trying to get him touches. The Lynx are doing it. They're doing the right thing defensively. You're getting up to the line. I know that their receivers are playing off the line a little bit, so you can't jam them, but we're still at the line of scrimmage in the jam formation defensively, and that's working right now. Like I said, they want to hit you quick, and then that opens up their big game. Mm-hmm. And we're not allowing them to do that, and so they don't want to Here's the thing that could really hurt them is that they don't want to run the ball so much. You can see that. Okay, they're about 90% to 10%, so 90% to the good passing and 10% they're running the ball. They obviously don't want to run the ball tonight.
And there was actually a penalty on third down. It was an illegal shift against Roosevelt. The penalty was declined, and their offense is back on the field right now. And now they're switching out.
I was going to say that could be a massive swing. That's That's a huge chess match there, because if you don't get it, you give the Lynx the ball right there.
I wouldn't even go for it on 4th down on Madden in this play from this field position, unless I was on rookie mode, which I always am. I'll thank you. This one's going to take a bounce, rolling to the 20. Good punt. Jaden Bourne.
Well, you look at it, and I know Kyle's scrambling through the sponsors here, and we want to thank all our sponsors, the Lynx TV sponsors.
Rock. They really do.
Yeah, you guys are amazing, and thank you. This is the only reason we're able to do this on Friday nights for you folks that are at home and are able to watch the ball games. And we want to thank all of our local sponsors, and go and support these sponsors, please, in the local community.
And we'll get to those in just a few minutes. First down for the Brandon Valley Lynx. Need to get on the board here, and they get it to Jesse Steffel. Steffel stays on his feet down the right sideline to the 40, and he's out of bounds at the 42-yard line. Excellent run by Jesse Steffel, and he was tackled by Kusler. And there's that Lynx offense coming alive on the legs of Jesse Steffel.
And, I know we always refer back, and it seems like we always have the right call, Kyle. I don't know what we're doing here, but there's some magic in the air. But the Roosevelt, you talked about Roosevelt trying to get the ball to Feldkamp. We talked about that.
Yeah.
But you got to get it to your home run threat in Jesse Steffel on offense for Brandon Valley. Those two players will win the game for you, one of those two.
And we'll see who it'll be. Right now it's pretty tight. Steffel, not this time. Across the 45, he gets a couple of yards.
Steffel on the carry for the Lynx.
Joey Hughes on the tackle.
Man, I just can't get over this field. If you folks, I don't want to discourage you from watching Lynx TV and come and sitting at home to the games, but man, you got to get here and look at this field.
Yes.
They did an amazing job.
Mm-hmm. Over $900,000, and it was worth it, because for as much as it rained this week, we would not be playing football, I don't think, on this field, or we'd have a hard time doing it. Steffel again, this time doesn't get back to the line of scrimmage.
And everybody's wondering at home, well, we now given it to Jesse Steffel 3 times, and you're saying, your commentators are saying, hey, give the ball to Jesse. Well, he's only gained 2 yards, or maybe even 1 yard in the last 2 plays. Try to get him to the wide side of the field. You're squishing your play down. You're allowing those linebackers in that defense. If you go to the short end of the field like we did the last 2 plays, that doesn't give him much room to wiggle.
Yeah, and there's more room, obviously, between the hash marks, unlike college or the pros. Skolton throws it. Incomplete for McCann. And that'll be 4th down, and the Lynx are going to be forced to punt again. Another decent-looking drive, though.
And so we got a defensive matchup. It's
Yes, we do.
8:17 to go, first half. And look at that score. 3-0 so far.
And I knew it was going to be a low-scoring affair. I was getting ready to watch some good old-fashioned defense. Great punt. Jory Sorensen is having the game of his life so far. 2 great punts in this game have helped the Lynx pin Roosevelt back again. Like we said, 3-0 Roosevelt. The Harry Buck team at Hague Realtors are the people to call in the Brandon Valley area for all your real estate needs. Call Harry 605-366-0221 or Miriam Hackler at 630-400-4860 or Susan Anderson 605-201-1087. They are your hometown team of real estate professionals. HarryBuck.com. Go there, learn more about available properties in your area. First down for Roosevelt. Denenbring from the gun. They're going to run the option. They pitch it out quickly to the right side. And that is Jaden Bourne. Does push for a moment. Gets about 3 yards.
Isn't it surprising, though, that both of these teams do not want to play the middle of this football field?
No, they do not.
Okay, so there's little pebbles in this turf, okay? and those pebbles aren't moving. Okay, those little tires, the little pebbles that you get in your shoes when you walk on the turf or you're running.
Yep.
Well, outside the hashes, they're everywhere, but inside those hashes, they're sitting still because these offenses don't want to run up the middle.
They're going out wide again. This one is incomplete. Flag on the play. And this was a late flag, which usually doesn't bode too well for the defense. But we will check it.
Looks like 52. Noah Hofer, he's going to get called for roughing the passer, I believe.
Yeah. Yep.
And so people are going to say, well, hey, that's a terrible penalty. And I get that every penalty's not good. But the Lynx are being aggressive. Yeah. I don't care. Defensively, they're being ultra aggressive, and that's why these penalties are coming. Just like on special teams, okay? We got a roughing the kicker. That's just being ultra aggressive. We're there.
And he almost blocked the kick.
I mean, we're there.
If he blocks the kick, it's not called.
I'm never going to tell 52 if I pull him to the sideline. I'm never going to tell him not to get after the quarterback. Yeah. You keep on going with 100 miles per hour, okay?
And he's not the only 52 that's upset about a roughing the passer call, as we found out last week Sunday in Green Bay, Wisconsin.
Right.
I thought it was a great call.
You see how they're boxing Feldkamp on the slot now.
They hand it off. Bourne again, and Bourne has a nice run this time across the 35, down to the 36. It'll be 2nd and 2. As clock winds to under 7 in what has been a low-scoring but very, very, very entertaining first half. They give it to him again. Not much doing this time, and I don't even think he quite got the first down. It's going to be close.
It's going to be very close as he stretched for it. And now you see 2 runs in a row by Roosevelt, and they're trying to exploit our right side of our defensive line, and I don't know why, because number 44, Parker Reed's a handful at defensive end there.
Parker Reed's 6 foot, 235. He's a sophomore, and they're moving the chains. I don't know why they're moving the chains. There'd be no reason to. They're going to give him a first down. Looked like he was about a half yard short.
If I'm Coach Christensen, I continue to dial up aggressiveness. Just be ultra aggressive. It's working for you.
Yep.
Don't get out of it. Even they gained a first down on the ground. Don't get out of that.
They hand it off to Bourne again, and Bourne is starting to find some room against this Lynx defense. That's going to be a gain of 5.
And I'm not saying that 5 yards is okay on first down. It's not okay. But if you can make this Roosevelt offense be one-dimensional and have to run the ball, because right now that's 3 runs in a row, okay? And it's not big 10, 12, 15 home run runs. That clock's continuing to chug down, and we're winning the clock right now. Time of possession, I don't know what it is, but it's got to be heavy favor Brandon, I would believe.
No, actually, Roosevelt's had it a little bit longer.
Yeah, I am wrong.
I think it's been a lot on this drive. They've held the ball for several minutes already on this drive, and
so you've taken them out of your game, or out of their game, I should say, in Roosevelt, completely out of their game. Is they want to hit those strikes, those big play receivers we talked about. They want to use Dannenbring's arm. They're not able to use that right now. It's just not working.
Nope.
So now they're going to try to run the ball, and that clock's already at 5 minutes to go in the first half.
Dannenbring 4 of 9, 53 yards. Bourne 9 carries, 31 yards, 3rd and 3. They pitch it out to Bourne. Bourne's going to get the first. Oh, no, he's not going to get the first down. He's tackled by Jesse Steffel. He stopped running. He stopped running in the middle of the field.
Yeah, he tried to get it to the outside. You can see that.
That's not even close.
And they're going to bring out the punting unit. You always got to wonder about a fake here. You really have to wonder about this field position and a fake, but they are truly playing the field position game right now, both teams.
Boy, Bourne had that first down dead on arrival, and he tried to cut instead of going straight forward. It's not a fake. Much Knaus is going to let this one bounce. It actually takes a Lynx bounce. And it's controlled by number 80, Jaden Beznoska. Whatever happened to Tim Williams and Bob Anderson? What's up with all these names? Says the guy with a Czechoslovakian last name that nobody's literally ever said correctly. You guys know I don't like to make things about me. I'm sorry, Ken. Go ahead.
No, okay. Here's one thing, though. Brandon needs to stay true to their game, too. Run the ball. Run the ball. Okay? Drain this clock down in the first half and run the ball.
They didn't listen, Ken. Pass to the right side is caught, and that is Hansen out of bounds. Oh, check that. That is not Hansen. That is Austin Vegans who makes the catch. Me and Bob Logan got that wrong.
Well, and that's a good gainer on first down.
Yes, it is.
And rolling that quarterback out to the right it's working well. Continue to do it until they stop that roll to the right. Get him out on the edge. Use his legs a little bit. And we're talking the quarterback, Skolton.
And it's what you talked about earlier. It's almost getting those quick hitter passes out there. That's going to help Tommy. It's going to help everybody. Hand off to the left side. First down run. And Tate Johnson refuses to go down until he's got a nifty-looking run, the 5'8" sophomore. First down, Brandon Valley.
What I like about Brandon there is they're using the wide side of the field there now, okay, on a run. And that was a quick pitch.
We just talked about last drive.
Allowed them to use their speed to get outside because these linebackers right now are healing themselves. And what I mean, we always call that they're sitting on their heels. They're not on their toes right now. They're sitting on their heels waiting for the play action to come. And that was a huge call. We'll see if the same thing comes this way to the right on the wide side.
Gain of 12 for Johnson, 4 carries, 18 yards. He gets the handle again to the right side, and he's got a lot of running room across the 45 and down to the 40. Another 12-yard gain. Actually, maybe they'll give him 11 to the 40-yard line. Tackled on the play by McManus, but it's going to be another first down for Johnson.
That's a great cut up. It was supposed to go to the outside. Your running back cut it up, saw a little bit of vision, saw a little bit of hole onto the inside and cut it back, and that's a huge, huge play.
And here come the Lynx from the 40 in enemy territory for the second time today. 1st and 10. Play fake. Skolton just dumps it off. This time it is Hansen, and he muscles his way across the 40 to the 35, and a big hit on the sideline. That is what Andrew Hansen does.
I do like that they went away from trying to hit the home run. But what's going to happen is the offense may be setting this up now. So all these little dink and dunk passes, these rollouts that are happening by Skolton, watch Skolton all of a sudden pull up and all of a sudden go deep because that corner is going to come down and bite on that.
Yeah.
And maybe come down to try to help on the tackle, and there goes your receiver.
Althoff out wide to the left, but they're going to hand it off to Johnson again. And this time Johnson doesn't get much. He might have gotten 2 or 3 yards. A couple of guys on the bottom there for the Roosevelt Rough Riders, but Devontae Murphy is going to get the tackle. This is a huge play in 4-down territory, Ken. If they get maybe a yard or don't get anything?
Well, it just depends on how much you trust your kicker. Because if you don't trust your kicker, it's totally the coach's call. I mean, you're going to call a timeout here, and that's a good timeout because you want to get this right.
Talking about a 49-yard field goal from here. That's a long way, my friend.
So going for it in 4th down, if we do not get the 2 yards, it gives them good field position if we don't get it. And so do you want to give that offense with about 2 timeouts remaining? Do you want to give that offense that type of field position? To me, you don't.
Alliance Communication is the leading internet, cable, TV, and phone provider in the Brandon Valley area. Alliance customers have access to 100% fiber to the home, which puts them light years ahead of most households throughout the country. We are proud sponsors of Lynx TV. At First National Bank, our student checking account is perfect for those 25 and younger, just like me. It provides convenient access to tools like e-alerts and mobile banking while on the go. We are proud supporters of all things Brandon, including the new baseball complex, the First National Bank Field at Aspen Park. And this is a huge third down coming up here. Ciliuson is in the slot at the top of your screen with Altoff out wide at the left. McCann is right. Steffel is in the backfield with Skolten from the shotgun. Skolten fumbled the ball, and it is picked up by Steffel, but that is going to bring up a fourth down from the 39-yard line.
Here's what you do is you punt.
I punt too.
You let your defense has been playing outstanding the first half. You go into the ball game or into halftime, hopefully with a 3-point differential right now, 3-0. And to me, I see that they may be going forward here. We'll see what happens.
Tommy's talking it over. I think they're going to let the time run down on the play clock, and then they're going to call timeout, and then they will punt. Roosevelt has 2 timeouts remaining, and this will be under 2 minutes. They might they might take the penalty and pin them back just a little bit more. Nope, they're going to call timeout. Timeout, Brandon Valley. Ken?
And I just got a text from one of our sponsors saying that there's 133 of you watching us on YouTube.
Oh, well.
And that's not counting those you folks that are on Channel 226 in Alliance Communications. Thanks for watching us. We appreciate it.
Guys.
And hopefully we're painting a pretty good picture for you. As you can see on your picture, we have a pretty darn good ball game going on right now, Kyle.
And as you can tell, I have had a lot of coffee today. So I am amped up.
I have too. The Pizza Ranch, proud supporters of Brandon Valley activities and the finest pizza in town. Bring the family for our buffet before the game or order our delicious boasted chicken or pizza after the game. Call us at 605-582-6322, and we will deliver it to your doorstep, tailgater, or wherever you may be in town. Go Lynx.
133 people. Twins would kill for a crowd like that at this point in the season. I'm just kidding. Joe Mauer, if you're watching this, you should be getting ready for your game in Oakland. Another low snap. Sorensen gets another bomb away, but this is going into the end zone for a touchback unless Vegans somehow gets some sort of Superman type of flying speed. It goes out of bounds. One of our stats guys just said Stretch Armstrong, don't quit your day job. I'm just kidding. That was actually pretty funny. I like that. So we got 1:48 to go here in the first half.
Roosevelt has 2 timeouts, and so they have, I never want to say they have plenty of time, but football, there's plenty of time all the time.
All the time. And Denenbring, even though he's been pretty quiet in this first half, he's got the arm to get them where they want to go. They're going to hand it off to the left side. Another nice run, still on his feet, is Bourne, and he's going to be down to the 35-yard line. Like you said, Ken, there's 2 timeouts left for Roosevelt.
And first down, stop the clock.
Yep.
And high school football, so that's kind of like giving yourself another timeout as every first down you get. And so let's see what they do here if they continue to run the ball, if they're going to try to air it out.
1st and 10, 36-yard line. Roosevelt trying to get some points before the half ends. Denenbring. They're going to go for it all. They got his man. It is caught, and it is going to be a touchdown for the Roosevelt Rough Riders. Devin McManus. He punts, he kicks, he catches touchdown passes.
And there's that high, big strike offense we talked about, and they caught us with no safety high, man coverage, and they got us.
Well, Jackson Hilton was on the coverage. I didn't think the coverage was terrible. I just don't think he quite timed his jump the way he wanted to.
And, Jackson's another sophomore, put into high-pressured situations, and that's a massive situation there.
Yep. And he'll learn from it. 9-0. 10-0. 10-0. Roosevelt leading right before the half. So now it's the Lynx turn, only with one timeout, but let's see if maybe Tommy can stretch the field a little bit with Carter or Cole or Austin Vegans. 1:19 left. There's some time to do something, and Mooch Knaus already has a great kick return tonight.
And one thing we talked about is continuing to be ultra aggressive. I looked at the defensive front and I looked at the linebackers. We didn't blitz anybody. We just brought 4, and Dannenbrink created his own pocket there, sat back, and just with 4 coming, I truly believe we got to at least bring 5 at all times to make him uneasy in that backfield, because we just saw you give him a little amount of time in that pocket, he's going to strike on you.
Man, you and I both called that. I think I said Dennenberg has a big arm, and then Ken, I think you said something to the effect of, we're going to try to keep him pinned back before half, but it's just,
so much football is just, there's so much time in football. I don't care if there's 10 seconds left. It just happens like that.
My mom watches Young and the Restless, but this is way more dramatic than any soap opera. Here's the return by Mooch Knaus. Decent return to the 30. I think if you're the Lynx, I don't think you can just take a knee on this, especially considering Roosevelt's going to get the ball to start the second half. I think you got to pin your ears back, and I think you got to go for it here.
Well, I think you take maybe a strike, and you look for it on first down. I know that they're probably going to sit a safety high, 21. That's by the B for Roosevelt. My guess is he'll sit high. We'll see.
First down, McCann, slot left. Althoff is at the top of your screen, wide left. They're going to hand it off to Johnson. He stays in bounds. Tackled on the play by Berglund. Gain of 2. And Roosevelt's not going to use a timeout. Neither are the Lynx.
Very surprising from Roosevelt, not trying to be even more aggressive in making this team throw the ball at some point. And because you have 2 timeouts, you don't get those back. They don't give you 5 next half. Use them. I mean, I'm not saying
you can't take them home with you.
Right.
2nd and 8. Johnson. Tackled by Kusler. And that will end our first half. Roosevelt scores a late touchdown to give them a 10-0 lead in what has been a really, really fun defensive matchup so far. We're going to have the Brandon Valley Band, the Marching Lynx, come out and give you a performance. And then we will have somebody from Celebrate Church talk to us about 5th quarter. Then we'll get down with the stats, and we'll talk about what the Lynx have to do to win this game in the second half. So Ken's going to give you some more sponsors, and then the Marching Lynx will be out.
And our Lynx TV sponsors are the First National Bank of Brandon, the Pizza Ranch of Brandon, the Brandon Community Foundation, McKinney-Olson Insurance, the Brandon Valley Area Chamber of Commerce, Schoeneman Construction, the Brandon Valley Athletic Boosters Club, the Brandon Valley Journal, Brandon Taco John's, and the Harry Buck team at Hegg Realtors and Alliance Communications. Also, these supporters and like we talked about, all of these sponsors that are able to bring this live to you are going to be huge all season, and they do it all season for many, many, many sports in the region, and especially all for the Lynx. And so we want you to support these sponsors and give them everything they need to, keep on growing in the Brandon Valley community. And like Kyle said, we are going to have one of it's called the 5th quarter, and I believe it's going to be the Brandon Lutheran tonight. I will check here, and we'll just be a moment with these guys, and we'll bring them in for the 5th quarter to talk about something special that goes on in the fifth quarter. And also we're going to bring you the Brandon Valley Marching Band that's huge. We don't say enough about these guys, but the Brandon Valley Marching Band has always been spectacular every year. I've been in the community now for 9 years, and they've been amazing every year, and we anticipate that same thing this year. So we will bring them to you live here in just a moment, and the fifth quarter by the Brandon Lutheran, I believe Lutheran Church tonight. We'll bring you live in just one moment.
Drum majors Lauren Scarborough and Emily Hensley. Is your band ready? Brandon Valley Marching Lynx, you may take the field in exhibition.
Yeah, then I have to referee down in Yankton.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, so I
Nice call.
5 o'clock.
Oh, no. Do you want something? I didn't hear you.
I don't need those. Yeah, the match starts at 5, so.
Ladies and gentlemen, your Brandon Valley Marching Lynx. They would like to thank you for watching our halftime performance. Next Saturday, the band will travel to Marshall, Minnesota to compete in the Pursuit of Excellence. The band would like to send their sincere thanks to the many people who have helped our program, including all the staff, band parents, faculty, and administration. We appreciate your support.
Well, what a great performance by your Brandon Valley Lynx marching band. As always, they are amazing, and they're still amazing to this day. They do such a terrific job, and the performance was great, and we want to give a shout-out to them, too. And so we'll give you some halftime stats a little bit here. Is Thomas Skolton right now for the Lynx is sitting at 4 for 10. So 4 completions to 10 with 6 incompletions for 23 yards so far, as long as 11. Andrew Hansen with 2 receptions. Carter Altoff and Austin Vigance with 1 each. Vigance leading the receivers with 11 yards receiving on that one actual reception. Defensively, it's being led by Jesse Steffel. He has 4 tackles total, and it looks like 6 tackles total, 4 solo and 2 assisted. And after that is Caden Johnson with 4, and Andrew Hansen with 4. Actually, Caden Johnson they have at 5. So defensively, the Brandon Valley Lynx, even though giving up that long touchdown, kind of spoiled the first half a little bit, but it's a 10-0 game, and we'll take that right now. Offensively, for Roosevelt, Dannenberg right now 5 for 10, and where his yards came from is that big, long 65-yard pass to, it looks like his receiver, McManus, for 1 reception for 65 yards and a touchdown. Feldkamp with 2 receptions, 27 yards. Bentoncourt with 26 yards. Rushing right now, Bourne for Roosevelt, 11 attempts for 47 yards along of 15, but he is averaging 4.3 yards. Rushing, I should say, for the Lynx. Tate Johnson with 8 attempts, 38 yards, and Jesse Steffel, 4 attempts for 29 yards. And so right now Kyle's going to bring on our guests here real shortly, and I think he's ready. And go ahead, Kyle.
All right, thank you very much. Joining me first, again here at halftime, as he does just about every halftime, at least the last year or two, is Kirk Strand. And Kirk, you are here once again to do one of my favorite post-game celebrations. Technically, I guess you could call it. Whether the Lynx win or lose, tell us a little bit about it.
That's right. It's the 5th quarter. There's actually 2 of them tonight. There's for the high schoolers, it's at Brandon Valley Assembly of God, and then for the middle schoolers, it's at Brandon Valley Lutheran Church.
Okay.
And I'm here with Pastor Derek Martin. He's going to be at the Lutheran Church for the middle school.
Yes, I am, and it's going to be full of games and fun and just a lot of safe for parents, just so, you know, nothing's going to go on that doesn't need to be going on, but it's just going to be a lot of fun.
Is there a cost to it? Many people want to know.
No, there is not.
You've got to be kidding me.
Is there food?
Yes, there is so much food. In fact, it's going to be ridiculous how full these kids are going to be when they go home.
And now, is there any chance that a certain Brandon Valley Lynx broadcaster who happens to be very, very hungry could stop by and make an appearance after the game?
Absolutely. A special guest appearance. We'll put you in the front of the line, get you all the hot dogs you can eat.
We'll see. We'll see for sure. That I remember doing stuff like this. You know, I don't know if we exactly had a 5th quarter, but I do remember getting together after games and stuff. And it's just a really, really fun time for the kids of the Brandon Valley community to get together, talk about the game, hang out, be with friends, and you know, obviously being around Pastor Derek here and just getting God in your life a little bit. It's great.
It's going to be safe. It's going to be fun. And Mom and Dad, trust your kids here. Once again, it's the high school at Brandon Valley Assembly of God, the junior high at Brandon Valley Middle School.
See you guys there.
All right.
All right. Go Lynx. Let's have a great second half.
Awesome.
Win this thing. Bring it home.
Yep, absolutely. And it's going to be a tight one all the way. It was definitely tight in the first half. The Roosevelt Rough Riders getting a late touchdown. They lead it 10-0. They got a field goal in the first quarter. And so far, I mean, this has just been an absolute dog battle. But the Lynx offense has had a couple of nice plays here and there. But Roosevelt, I mean, that defense is no joke. Absolutely as good as advertised. Shutting out the Lynx in that first half and getting, like we said, a late touchdown, 65 yards. Tough one, but Roosevelt's going to get the ball back here. I guess all the Lynx got to worry about, getting a stop, getting the ball back, got to put points on the board.
Yeah, we talked about time possession. Time possession right now, the Lynx still, I believe, if I can look at this right, I believe we're leading still in the time possession, but whenever you have a home run play like that, 65 yards, McManus, from Dannenberg to McManus, that's just it shoots you in the foot. It just really dampens a little bit of that first half, because defensively you played strong for a ton of that first half, and it's that one break. And that's what happens in these games. You have to take advantage of, you know, the Roosevelt offensive coordinator, their offensive staff, whatever, took advantage of the man-to-man coverage on the outside.
Yep. And that's something that, unfortunately, Tommy Skolton couldn't do in the first half. Very early in the game, he had 2 open receivers, McCann once, Althoff once. That was a 50-50 ball caught for that 65-yard touchdown. And those other two were almost 50-50 balls too, just a little bit overthrown. We could be talking about a 14-3 Lynx lead instead of a 10-0 deficit, which hurts, but the Lynx have had their opportunities in this game.
Yeah, and here's the thing. So we talked about who's going to attack the middle of the field. Well, where'd that touchdown come from? The middle of the field,
Smack
inside
dab in
the
middle.
hashes.
Nobody's gone to the middle of the field this game so far.
Until that pass. And that's where you're going to win the ball game. I'm telling you right now, and they just exploited it on our defense because the safeties are not there. Anytime there's a big void in the middle of the field where safeties normally play is right at those hashes or inside those hashes. That's a massive void if you can get a receiver inside those hashes. Not outside the hashes. Remember, when you play outside of the hashes, and what I mean, folks at home, if you're looking at all those dots those two dots that are lining the whole football field, okay? If you're playing outside of those hashes, you're limited a little bit because you have the sideline sitting there. You open up that middle of that football field, and you take the void of the defense, which both defenses are doing it. They're both in a lot of man coverage, and we just got caught. And on top of it, we quit being aggressive for that one play.
Yep.
We didn't bring a blitz, and it allowed them to sit in the pocket and get that open in that man coverage, and that's where it'll burn you.
Yep.
So, to me, as a coaching staff, you go in the locker room and you continue to be aggressive on both sides of the ball. Now maybe what we do offensively is maybe we start seeing. So we take a few shots, okay?
Yep.
They're not respecting us. We're not really respecting their deep ball either. We weren't, because anytime you're in man coverage, you're not really respecting them.
Yep.
And so, because there's no safety. So both defenses are going to be ultra aggressive. How do you stop aggressive defenses? You run screens on them. You run a ton of screens to slow those defensive linemen down and make that other coordinator, that defensive coordinator, not dial up blitzes anymore, because now you can't.
Yeah.
Because the linebackers have to sit home. They have to sit home and watch for that screen to come.
Yeah.
It'll take them out of their game completely.
Yes. And I'm going to say something here. And if you like it, you can take it. If you don't, you throw it right back. Almost, I think it'd be great. You talked about the screens, doing kind of what the Vikings are doing with Dalvin Cook and kind of what the Saints used to do with Reggie Bush, where you get those dink and dunk passes right out of the backfield. You get them out in the flat, give them some space against those linebackers to get out a little bit. Not even necessarily a screen pass. It's almost the same as a run.
Well, and one of the main things is as you get outside of the hashes, one thing offensively I think Brandon needs to do too is they don't continue to run to the short side of the field. We saw where some of our biggest runs are on the wide side of the field.
Get him some space.
Yeah. Each time the ball's set by one of the refs, okay, it has to be on a hash. And so one of the sides of the field is going to be the wide side of the field. Let them use their speed.
Voice you just heard was Ken McEwen. I'm Kyle Roque. Second half is underway as Sorensen gives this a boot, and this one is going to go out of bounds flag. And Roosevelt's going to start with good field position here. And, folks, not going to do much speculation once again here, but it does look like Carter Althoff will not be playing in this second half. So the Lynx are going to lose their biggest playmaker at wide receiver. So, Ken, maybe we're right. Maybe this is the opportunity for the Lynx offense to give the ball to Jesse Steffel, give the ball to Tate Johnson, and kind of let them do what they did in spurts in that first half. Get them out in space, and I think this is really going to come down to them, and I think Ty McCann's going to have to step up.
Sometimes coaches will get out of their game plan because of score, because of things aren't working. Stay true to what you do and try to make that work.
Well, it might take Roosevelt's defense out of it, too, if we change strategy a little bit, because their defense did a good job. First down handoff. And once again, that is Bourne. Bourne has gotten a bevy of runs so far, gain of 3. He's got 12 carries, and most of them coming in that second quarter. Because like we said, number 6, Tyler Feldkamp, he started the game at running back. Now he's been at wide receiver. Been pretty quiet today.
Yeah, and they're still trying to get him out in space. They swung him out to the left there on the flats. You just always got to account for him, though, because he's that home run threat, just like McManus is.
Dannenbring, shotgun. 2 wide receivers. Low snap. He's going to throw. He's going to go deep. And it is caught on an unbelievable catch by Feldkamp, and that is what that kid can do, because that was a tremendous catch.
You're talking about a sophomore, folks, and you're seeing it.
And like you said, best player in the state.
To me, hands down. I mean, what I've seen on TV and even coaching him in the 8th grade, he was a 7th grader. We moved him up to the 8th grade. He was a 7th grader at the time because he was that special, and he's really done things early in this season that are pretty special.
First down and 10. McManus had a 65-yard touchdown late in that first half, and now a big one from Feldkamp. Here's a handoff to Bourne, and boom, is he knocked down by Parker Reed. And that was a big play for this Lynx defense, loss of 2.
And I like, maybe defensively, I mean, I'm not saying that our defensive end, number 53 for the Lynx, Neuenhaus, is anything less than Parker Reed, but Parker Reed's a handful. And I almost put him on the wide side of the field every time because this Roosevelt team does not run so much to the weak side of the field, and what I mean is the short side of the field on the hashes.
Well, they're bringing them all to that wide side of the field like you were talking about. Bourne again, and he's stopped again. This time it's Jesse Steffel. Not much there, maybe a yard. It's going to bring up 3rd and 11. It'd be a field goal try of 43 yards from here if they don't get any more yards.
And this is right now where they're gaining their chunks. They're running the ball is not working for them so much. They're getting I know those 5-yard spurts and stuff like that, but those long balls. And so what this is doing, they like that long ball. We talked about how explosive their offense is. When they get down by this red zone here, everything tightens up, and let's see if our defense can hold.
14 carries, 48 yards for Bourne, 3rd down. Timeout, Roosevelt. So that could be a big timeout lost early in this second half for Roosevelt. Obviously, there's a lot of game left, but losing a timeout that early as a coach, that's got to make your blood boil a little bit.
Well, they know it makes your blood boil, but it's also probably a good timeout because of this. They know if they can put 7 on the board, it's a 3-score game. Mm-hmm. Okay, that's massive in this ball game. 2 scores to 3 scores is, I'm telling you, it's huge in this ball game. And if you can do that in the 3rd quarter, your chances of winning go up drastically. Okay, even though it's 10, you're looking at a 10-0 game. You put it at 3 scores, that's really hard,
with no Althoff.
Right, and especially against a Roosevelt defense. Mm-hmm. So that's probably a good timeout.
They obviously saw something that they didn't like with the Lynx defense.
3rd and 11 for the Rough Riders.
3rd and 11 now. Dannenbring from the gun. Bourne to his left. Let's see what they dial up here. He's rolling. Here comes pressure. He got hit as he threw, and it is caught by Feldkamp. And it's going to be no gain on the play. But, boy, the Lynx almost had a good opportunity to get a turnover there. Unfortunately, no Lynx in sight with the tipped ball.
Hey, what did they do? They dialed up a blitz again. They were aggressive. They were very, very aggressive on that. And that's what they need to do, continue to do, because Dannenbring his feet are happy when he sees that blitz. I mean, he's getting out of there. Do not let him be comfortable and just pick apart your defense. Make him use his wheels and be uncomfortable.
Isaiah Campbell had the hit. 4th down and 10 from the 25-yard line. This is a huge play. Dannenbring is going to throw. They bring pressure. Neuenhuis hit him into double coverage. Incomplete, no flags.
And as you can see, you can look at your field right now. Look at 5 guys, five linemen and 1 linebacker, and that's what happened. continue to dial out that blitz, Coach Christensen, and your defense is going to win this ball game.
Yep, and like you said, the pressure, I think, got to Denenbrink again because that ball was thrown early, and it was thrown wide out of bounds. There was, I don't think, any chance, regardless of the coverage, that Feldkamp would have gotten to that one. So, go ahead.
Sometime those floaters that are happening that you're seeing are going to turn into interceptions. It's going to be a turnover ball game here.
Well, we're going to see what Ty McCann can do as the number 1 running back because he's out wide to the left. Ciliuson in the slot. So Althoff's out. They move Cilius into the slot. McCann becomes the 1 main wide receiver. They're going to hand it off to Johnson. And Johnson's going to head right. Gain of 3.
You almost want to see Tate Johnson cut that back. His whole line had a wall for him and almost cut it back against the grain there. He would have scampered for 20, 30 yards there.
Mm-hmm. Second down and 7 from the 28. Trips left. Johnson again. Pushes the pile momentarily, gets to the 30, so it'll be about 2 yards on that play. Tellinghusen was also in the game for the Lynx at wide receiver. And, excuse me, that was number 2, Jesse Steffel. He's back into the game. So we haven't seen Steffel a lot. We didn't see him a lot in that second quarter, at least. Did have 1 long run of 24. That's been most of his yardage. Big third down here. 3rd and 4. Flag. And this is going to be a false start, I'm assuming, against the Lynx. That's usually the only time they stop the play.
And so the Lynx had a manageable 3rd down there, and manageable 5 yards, or 4 yards, they were calling it, is going to now come into a distance where it's not super manageable in 3rd and 10. And the field position is kind of tilting on Roosevelt's side here, and you never want that here in the 3rd quarter.
Well, this would be a huge 3rd down conversion as McCann goes out wide. See if Roosevelt brings some pressure here. Tommy going deep. McCann incomplete. Flag on the play. Pass interference against Roosevelt. Good call. If the call earlier against Jackson Hilton is flagged, that one has to be flagged.
The back judge does not want to throw the flag, but the line judge does.
He was standing right there. I don't understand why he did. Well, whatever. I'm a baseball umpire. I don't want to talk smack about my counterparts.
And that's a big penalty, as it's going to give your Lynx a 1st down, which they need in this drive. They need to put together a drive to put at least some points on the board here to make this a 1-score game.
And it's not a spot foul like it is in the NFL. You get 15 yards, which, regardless, is a 1st down. So 1st and 10 from the 40. Handoff, left side. Jesse Steffel, nice looking run to midfield. Heads to the left side of the 40, to the 35. And he's ushered out of bounds. Nice run, Jesse Steffel. Gain of 25.
Getting Jesse to the wide side of the field just works, doesn't it?
Coach.
He really uses his speed, and he will lower that boom at the end of the play. And you don't. A lot of defenders, they don't want to tackle him because he's the aggressor on a tackle.
Mm-hmm. Good looking drive for the Lynx so far. 1st down from the 34 after the gain of 26. They're going to feed him again to the 30. Steffel. And here comes Jesse Steffel. Putting the team on his back, tackled on the play by number 21, Nathan Moon.
I would just continue to give him the ball until they stop him. He's gaining positive yards. You saw a big, big run 2 plays ago, and anytime you get 4 yards a pop, you'll take that right now.
Second down and a short 6. I formation. Hansen the fullback. Now they got Vegans in there too. Power I. Steffel. And this time he's not going to get much, but he does fall ahead. Flags coming in, and I think this is going to be a personal foul penalty against Roosevelt.
It's going to be. It's going to be a late hit out of bounds.
And another flag. Referee ran out of flags, threw his helmet up in the air. So this might be a personal foul against Roosevelt, personal foul against Brandon Valley, which I believe would be offsetting penalties, so it'll be a second down. So it's just like that play never happened.
And wouldn't it be nice if they ran that same formation, okay, faked it left and then pitched it out right to Jesse. Get that defense flowing to that fullback.
Yep.
Okay, they're in a heavy set there. Flow. They're going to flow right to that fullback and just kick him out to the right. Boom.
Works on Madden. Yeah, it does work on Madden. You fake the handoff and you pitch it out left or right, whichever way. Again, I play on rookie mode, so every play is about a gain of 15.
I don't think I've played that since about 2000.
Yeah, same here. My PS3 died out. So, I don't know if you can hear the refs. Personal foul against Roosevelt. And unsportsmanlike against Quinn Grody. The penalty's offset, and they said third down. Now they're saying it's third down, but it should be second down.
It should replay. If I'm the coaching
Unless the
staff,
play was over. Is that possible?
Yeah.
Maybe because it was all after the play was the play was over. So offsetting penalties, 3rd and 6. Steffel gets the handoff. He's going to be short. He gets about to the 27. Jesse Steffel. I think the Lynx are going to have to go for it here after a gain of 2.
Get him out wide. I mean, you got to use his wheels, and he's going to bring toughness. We know that, but they're looking at that inside run, and they're pretty stout up the gut there, up the middle. We've seen most of our big runs come to the outside. Get this kid to the outside and let him work.
Don't look now, but 7 minutes are already gone in this third quarter. 4th down, play fake, pressure, dump off. Hansen breaks a tackle, first down. He's to the right side to the 20, and he's down to the 17-yard line. Andrew Hansen, big play.
Perfect dial-up by your offensive coordinator as he swings that fullback out. They don't pick it up, and he rolls Skolton to the right. And we know Skolton's been deadly kind of on those rollouts, and it's worked again. Let's see if we get a little bit of Steffel out here to the left.
And like you said, Steffel is in the backfield. 1st and 10 from the 18. Lynx are driving. They give it to him again. He cuts right, gain of 0. Nice pursuit by the Roosevelt defense. Joey Otta. There for the tackle for Roosevelt. And boy, you've said it already, Ken. Screen pass sounds okay right about now. Get on that wide side of the field.
Well, their defense, second down they're not blitzing as much, but third down especially. They are bringing, I'm telling you, they're bringing at least 2 backers.
They brought a lot on 4th down, too. It's the reason Hansen got the first down. Tate Johnson, right side, nothing doing. Once again, they're going to that side of the field on the hash mark. They're on that right half.
On the tackle, number 10, Ethan Winter. No gain on that play. That will bring up a 3rd down and 10.
It'll be 3rd down here. And 10. So, I mean, talking about from here a 35-yard field goal. Daniel Carlson will tell you 35-yard field goals are not automatic. Not that I'm bitter about it, because I'm not. 3rd and 10. Skolten dumps it over the middle. Caught, beautifully designed play. Tellinghusen to the 5. He fumbled the football. He fumbled it. Who's got it? If the Lynx have it, it'll be a first down.
Ball caught by number 19, Ethan Tellinghusen.
Lynx recover the ball. First down. A big scare from this crowd. They thought it was a touchdown from Tellinghusen. That was a beautifully designed play.
And that was a wide receiver screen there as the wide receiver from the outside came underneath the route. The other 2 receivers went out to the outside and pinned them down onto a screen.
Power eye, Tommy Skolten gives it. Hansen drives into the end zone. Touchdown, Brandon Valley Lynx. Andrew Hansen gets the 4th down conversion. And then a little bit later in the drive with 2:37 left to go in the 3rd quarter, the Brandon Valley Lynx are clawing their way back into the game. It's 10-6. Great drive for the Lynx. Great drive.
Huge drive. It burned a lot of clock, too, and it puts it to a 1-possession game. And that's going to be massive here as we go into the 4th quarter, which we're on the brink of already.
Well, Andrew Hansen's first carry. Field goal is good. Looked like it sailed right, but it found its way through. That drive was all Jesse Steffel, who has 10 carries for 62 yards. Lynx got a pass interference penalty to boot. And once again, I can't say it enough, that was an awesome, awesome design play for Tellinghusen on 3rd and 10. And thankfully the Lynx recovered the fumble because it looked like he darn near crossed the goal line, and then they stripped it out. That's what good defenses do. Lynx found a way.
And folks at home, what we're talking about is that they had a 3-receiver set, I believe, on the right side and a single on the left.
Yep.
And what they did is they took the outside receiver farthest to the sideline and brought him underneath the other 2 receivers. It's an outside screen with a wide receiver, and what it did was that linebacker that was supposed to be sitting there for that wide receiver voided and blitzed, and that's a great call by the offensive coordinator.
A brilliant drive, 11 plays, 75 yards. And it took just about 6 minutes off the clock. 5 minutes, 53 seconds. And the Lynx are right back in it. It's a 3-point game. Sorensen gets it away. McManus on the return, and he's got a seam. And he's loose, but Sorensen makes the tackle at the 40-yard line. But an excellent return by McManus, who's done just about everything today. He's caught a touchdown. He's punted. He's kicked. He's returned kicks well. That kid is an all-around player. A senior. And, boy, they've got some weapons here for the Roosevelt Rough Riders. That's for sure. That's why they're second in the state. And there's a penalty marker on the play against Roosevelt.
It's going to be a block in the back, I think.
Yep, so they're going to move him back.
Your Lynx TV sponsors are the Harry Buck team at Hegg Realtors, Alliance Communications, McKinney Olson Insurance, the Brandon Valley Area Chamber of Commerce, the First National Bank of Brandon, the Pizza Ranch of Brandon, Brandon Community Foundation, Schoeneman Construction, the Brandon Valley Athletic Boosters Club, the Brandon Valley Journal, and the Brandon Taco John's. Thank you.
Thank you. Moves him back 10 yards. Getting into the nitty-gritty here, almost to the 4th quarter. First down. Dannenberg throws it to the right side, too tall. Incomplete for Dannenberg. It was intended for McManus again.
What we've seen is anytime there's pressure in his face or around him, you see how he short-armed that ball and it took off on him. He kind of flicked it out there and it took off on him. He needs to have heavy pressure. I know we say that about every quarterback. Some quarterbacks strive. Really good quarterbacks strive on pressure because they can break it open and then they can find the hole. Right now, Dannenberg's not finding that hole, especially when the blitz is called up.
Former track pole vaulter Riley Hosman of Brandon Valley. He's a Brandon Valley grad, 2012. He's listening. Thank you very much. Bourne almost fumbles the football, but he's got actually a nifty-looking run for a first down.
And that's a good call.
Why couldn't it just slip out of his hands?
That's a good call by the offensive coordinator for Roosevelt is that our linebacker, I believe it was 33, Isaiah Campbell, came on a blitz from right in that gap, and they just snuck it out where his gap is.
Got an injured Lynx player here. And being the best teammate in the world right now, Jesse Steffel grabs his leg, pulls that thing up. You wouldn't expect cramping in this weather. It's actually a chilly day outside. I had to turn up my heater in my car this morning. Didn't even realize it still worked. And it looks like Jackson Hilton's going to be all right. Just get some water in him, maybe a banana.
Tighten up a little bit, and we'll be okay.
You guys like kale? No, I don't like kale either. Do I look like a guy that eats kale? Too much coffee.
So you don't. So you're telling me you don't sit on the couch and play Madden?
Not anymore.
And take advantage of kale.
Can't say I've ever done that.
Okay.
I know I'm a millennial, but
all right.
I'm not that big of a millennial. I made myself laugh there. All right, let's get serious here. It's a first down for the Lynx defense. Roosevelt just got a nice run from Bourne, who's in the backfield. And they fed him a lot this game. Pump fake. Dannenbring. He's going deep. And
That's offensive pass interference.
Knocked away, incomplete. Ken wants offensive PI, but it was a beautiful play by Caden Johnson defensively.
I spoke too soon. They didn't call it. Defensively, how good is the Brandon Valley Lynx defense playing this whole ball game? It's 10 points given up so far, and they haven't gained a ton of yards. And it's been one big play this whole ball game. That's the difference in the ball game right now.
Dannenbring hit as he throws. Caught! That was an excellent catch by Roosevelt's Caden Jordan. Whew. A couple of Lynx players were saying that the pass was incomplete. But we don't have replay here. We can't afford that. We just bought turf for crying out loud.
Right.
So that was fantastic.
Those balls are floating, though.
Yes.
You see how the pressure's making him uncomfortable.
I thought it was picked at first. Bourne, first down. Gain of 15 on that play to the 20. Isaiah Campbell's down for the Lynx. This looks like it's more than a cramp.
It looks like a knee, and we never like to see that. The Harry Buck team at Hegg Realtors are your people to call in the Brandon Valley area for all your real estate needs. Just call Harry at 605-366-0221 or Miriam Hackler at 630-400-4860 or Susan Anderson at 605-201-1087. They are your hometown team of real estate professionals. Just go to harrybuck.com to learn more about the available properties in our area. Alliance Communications is a leading internet, cable TV, and phone provider in the Brandon Valley area. Alliance customers have access to 100% fiber to home, which puts them light years ahead of most households throughout the country. We are proud sponsors of Lynx TV.
Me. At First National Bank, our student checking account is perfect for those 25 and younger. It provides convenient access to tools like e-alerts and mobile banking while on the go. We are proud supporters of all things Brandon, including the new baseball complex, First National Bank Field at Aspen Park. Pizza Ranch, proud supporters of Brandon Valley Activities, finest pizza in town, 582-6322, delivered to your doorstep, tailgater, or wherever you may be. Go Lynx. Got to be in town, though. And it's another option play. Bourne got close to another first down. Tackled on the play by Devin Jones. So here comes Roosevelt. After the Lynx just had a huge drive to get the deficit within 7, Roosevelt's driving for the end zone. Trying to retake control.
And Jesse Steffel goes down with a little knee issue also. It might be a thigh. But he stays in the game.
First down and 10 from the 11. Bourne up the gut. Stopped by Neuenhaus. I think Hofer might have been in there too. Lynx got to tighten up the screws here and hold them to a field goal.
And Roosevelt's bringing in, I would suspect, their heavy package. And that's what it looks like right now is you got some, number 99, he is a load at tight end. Boy, he is big.
2nd and 8. Bourne again. They head left. He's grinding, and he's hit after another nice game. Neuenhaus and Sam Kroenke in there. Big third down coming up.
Big third down, as you would anticipate that Roosevelt's going to try to put points on the board if they do not get the touchdown.
I think they kick it.
And that's going to be, they're going to let the time run down in this third quarter. It's going to go to the 4th.
Brandon Community Foundation is a permanent charitable endowment that supports activities that improve the quality of life for all ages in Brandon and Valley Springs. For more info, go to our website, brandoncf.org. Go Lynx.
McKinney-Olson Insurance. Steve Tripp and the team at McKinney-Olson Insurance is a proud supporter of Lynx TV. We are your longtime local insurance agency, and we will go to the extra mile to gain your trust and give you a peace of mind that we have you covered. The Brandon Valley Area Chamber of Commerce is a proud sponsor of Lynx TV. The Chamber of Commerce is dedicated to help speak for and support local businesses. A strong local business community is vital for the positive growth of the Brandon Valley area. So remember, when you buy Brandon, you support all things local. Go Lynx. Schoenemann Construction specializes in residential and commercial construction, serving the Brandon area for nearly 40 years. They truly are the builders of reputation. Give Stan a call at 605-366-7842 for all your construction needs. The Brandon Valley Athletic Boosters Club are proud supporters of all Brandon Valley athletic programs, including Lynx TV. Go Lynx.
Thanks, guys. Good job. Third down. Third and 6 from the 7. Play fake. Pass to the end zone. Touchdown. Roosevelt Rough Riders, Tyler Feldkamp. Huge touchdown for Roosevelt as we start the fourth quarter. It's 16-7.
Beautiful play call by the offensive coordinator for the Rough Riders as he rolls his big quarterback at 6'5" outside the pocket to get away from the blitz. And they find their speedster in Feldkamp at the corner of the end zone. Touchdown.
McManus for the extra point. He's been all over it today, and it's good. 17-7, Roosevelt now leading. Dannenbring 9 of 17 for a $188 and 2 touchdowns. Tommy Skolton 6 of 12, 49 yards. Brandon Valley Journal is your local news source covering all 11 Brandon Valley sports every week with stories and photos. And I think there will be a lot to write about in the Journal this week, so you're going to have to tune in. You can get all the local news in print and online. If you haven't already subscribed, do it today, 605-582-9999. Finally, Taco John's. Sign up to the Taco John's Rewards app on your phone for lots of deals and surprises. We have new and exciting products to choose from, and it's always made fresh just for you. All of us at Taco John's want to thank you for your business. Go Lynx.
A lot of time on the clock, only a 10-point game. It can swing, but here's the thing. You believe that with these two very good defenses, there hasn't been one turnover in this ball game yet.
That's Ken McCune. Kyle Roque here as well. 17-7 Roosevelt. Mooch Knaus going the wrong way, down at the 15. So if the Lynx are going to get this back to a one-possession game, they're going to have to go a long way. And actually, Roosevelt's going to have to go a short way because that's a fumble recovered by the Riders.
Boy, ouch. I just stepped on my own toes by saying there hasn't been a turnover, and all of a sudden it happens.
In the words of the great Austin Powers, ouch, baby. Exactly. Very ouch. So Roosevelt's right back to where they just had their previous offensive play. They're at the 12-yard line. And the Lynx have one choice basically here, and it's to hold them to a field goal. Because like we said earlier in the first half, they score again, it's a three-possession game. 1st and 10 from the 12. Dannenbrig's going to hand it off. Bourne gets a few.
But three. Yeah, and they're trying to keep us honest by running up the middle. They haven't got a lot. Both defenses haven't given up a lot up the middle, and I'm talking about running the ball. It's all been out to the outside. And so what do you dial up? And I would force him, okay? And we're talking the quarterback, Dannenbring, not to be able to roll right. Make him come left all the time. He gets out of his throwing motion, and we got a timeout.
Roosevelt with the timeout, and you know, I was just thinking it's not illegal for us to maybe get a turnover here. I know it's easier said than done. You're a defensive coach, you understand that, but if there's a time to strip it out of Bourne's hands or maybe steal one away from Tyler Feldkamp, this is the drive to do it.
Yeah, and my guess is that they're going to still try to run the ball here. They're going to try to run it on this down and then force it into a pass here. But you can't we've said it all night for now 4 quarters. You cannot let Dannenbring get comfortable in the pocket, and that's including rolling to the right, in which he likes to do. Force him, push him. You can bring that blitz off the edge. You can bring an outside linebacker, and you can bring that and force him to roll left and make him uncomfortable, because we know you talked about a turnover.
Yep.
When that pressure's around him, he starts to float the ball a little bit, and that's where turnovers happen, is when the quarterback starts floating the ball a little bit.
2nd down, 2nd and 8 from the 10. Lynx need to hold Roosevelt at least to a field goal. Bourne, right side. He slips, which helps. Thank you, Turf. And he's going to get to around the 5-yard line. They're going to give the tackle to Steffel, even though Randy Marceau's Turf should probably get some credit.
They're making a stop, number 2, Steffel.
Huge 3rd down coming up here.
3rd down and 4 for Roosevelt.
Very surprising that Roosevelt didn't try to run it to the left there to get to the left hash, so he can roll more to the right. We'll see what he does here.
3rd and 3 from the 5. Dannenbring. They're going to give it to Bourne again, and he scoots up the middle, and I think he got a 1st down.
On the carry, Bourne.
And it'll be 1st and goal from inside the 2.
On the stop, number 44, Parker Reed.
No, they're not going to give it to him. They're going to say 4th down, at least so far. But we'll probably get a measurement here. Yep. And if this is 4th down, If you're Kim Nelson, what do you do? 'Cause
And
boy, I would think you'd go for it here and try to put the nail in the coffin.
Well, here's the other thing is that right now it's a 2-score game with a field goal and a touchdown. If you kick a field goal here, it has to be 2 touchdowns from Brandon Valley, okay? Because you're up then 13.
Boy,
And
the referee just put up his hand. They're about 3 inches short.
To me, if I know that you want to be aggressive as a play caller and as a coach, and you think that you can get that inch or whatever it is, but the difference between a field goal and a touchdown to 2 touchdowns is a massive difference. In what, 10 minutes and 18 seconds to go in the ballgame.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting what he does here.
4th and an inch.
And they're going to go. See if they try to draw him off sides, too.
Dannenbrink from the gun. Bourne is right behind him. Play of the game so far. They give it to him, and he gets it. And he's into the end zone. They're saying, will they call it? Touchdown, Roosevelt Rough Riders. Touchdown Riders. Jaden Bourne scores to make it 23-7.
Well, you called it, Kyle, that they're going to go for it, and they did, and they scored a touchdown. And, hey, hats off to them.
Yep.
Anytime you win the turnover battle in a ball game, and you're starting to now see that they're starting to win the line of scrimmage, too, their offensive line. And so that's why you're seeing the score where we're at today.
Big extra point, and it's good. So that makes it a 3-possession game, 24-7.
And the Harry Buck team at Hague Realtors is one of our Lynx TV sponsors, along with Alliance Communications, the First National Bank of Brandon, the Pizza Ranch of Brandon, the Brandon Community Foundation, McKinney Olson Insurance, the Brandon Valley Area Chamber of Commerce, Schoeneman Construction, the Brandon Valley Athletic Boosters Club, the Brandon Valley Journal, and Your Brandon Taco John's. I think they say that on TV, don't they?
Yeah.
Your Brandon Taco John's.
Your Brandon Taco John. That's not what he sounds like, obviously, but there's going to be a game this year where I'm just going to do that the entire game.
Are you?
No. I have a hard enough time listening to myself. I couldn't do that to people.
We're always our worst critic ourselves. You sound amazing.
Oh, you sound great too. We're just having a great old time up here. It's more fun when the Lynx are winning, but I'll tell you this, there's still a lot of game left, 9:55 to go, but I know the Lynx are down 3 scores, but I've really liked the way that they played here today so far. We got another fumble. Much Knaus couldn't handle the kick, but the Lynx do have it, and he's down on the field.
And that's when concussions happen, unfortunately.
Yeah,
when
there's
you
a lot
have
of helmet to
somebody
helmet
laying
there.
down. Yeah, it was a massive hit. And
Well, I'll tell you this. Jesse Steffel has had a great game today. He's played his butt off.
he has a
So is Harbison. He's been playing well, too, up front. A lot of positives to take out of this game, win or lose. And the thing about the Lynx is, and we've seen this, Ken, with our 3 years of Lynx TV, and I think our two statisticians over here will say the same thing. The Lynx are a team that gets better as the season goes on. And I think that the way that they played some of these Sioux Falls schools this year, especially Washington losing a 2-touchdown game to them, playing as hard as they have so far. Playing as well as they have in this game so far, even though they're down 24-7. I think that they're going to have a good chance here of doing something big, as Much Knaus is still on the field.
Yeah, and you never want to see this, as you can see on your screen that a
Oh,
stretcher
boy.
and a lot more people that that aren't supposed to be on the field are on the field, and emergency crews and stuff like that. As you could see, as he went down for the ball, Mark Munchkinhouse, I believe that's how you say it, went diving for the ball, and it's kind of avoidable, as a lot of your, as you can see, both sidelines are down praying for this, because it's never ever good to see this at all, because it was a helmet-to-helmet hit, and it's one of the worst things you can see in football is when that collision happens, when it's a player that's basically defenseless sitting there.
Yeah, and you can talk about helmet-to-helmet all you want, and obviously this is a really, really unfortunate situation we're seeing here. But there was no malice to it, obviously. It's just two kids trying to make a play.
Well, it wasn't
ball
a
pops
cheap
out.
shot.
No, and that's exactly right. And so if you're thinking that we're talking about helmet-to-helmet here, saying that Roosevelt player dug his head in to try and hurt Munchkinhouse, that's not the case whatsoever. Right. It's just the ball was on the ground. Both players dove for it, and it's an unfortunate situation. You can hear a pin drop in here right now. And this is once again a reminder that there's bigger things than the final score here that can happen in this game, and this is a very unfortunate way to have a delay here. And all you're wanting to see is a thumbs up here once he gets on the stretcher. I'm sorry we got a lot of dead air here. There's just not much to say, as number 28, Mark Munchkinhouse, a sophomore, is down on the field right now after a fumble. Couple of different Roosevelt Rough Riders fighting with Munchkinhouse for the ball, and the Roosevelt player diving in. Sorry, Ken. The Roosevelt player diving in to try and get the fumble. Just freak accident, helmet-to-helmet contact.
Yeah, and like our statistician Todd over here said, that's just not the hit you want to see. Those are the scariest. That's the scariest hit you can see on a football field by far.
Well, if we get an update on how he's doing before this game, we'll certainly let you know. Shout out to the medical staff down there. Going to be hard to go back to football after this, but we will certainly try our best.
And for these kids too, it's just it's so hard to see your teammate laying down, helpless, and I know we can't see it, but it's really, really tough.
And we're not going to speculate on, I don't even want to say upper body, lower body, but I think from kind of what we saw on the play, we have an idea. We just are going to hope up here that this sophomore, who's got a ton of games left in the red, black, and white, we're just going to hope that he's going to have an opportunity to get back on the field sooner rather than later. But obviously with this type of delay, we're hoping it's nothing too serious, and they're just taking precautions right now. Again, number 28, Mark Muchkanaus, is on the turf here at Brandon Valley High School, with the Lynx trailing the Roosevelt Rough Riders 24-7. And as you guys can probably see, they're getting him on that emergency vehicle. We're not generally supposed to clap with the mics on, but we're going to do it anyway because Mark Muchkanaus is getting on there once again, thanks to the medical staff and just a sophomore. Like we said, we're going to hope and pray he's got plenty of time left on the gridiron of Brandon Valley High School. And somehow, some way, we are going to have football back here with 9:47 to go.
And so, like Kyle said, you
Yeah.
never want to see that. You just hope and pray that everything's okay. And football aside, it's all about life and being, in his future in his hands. And we'll just pray for him tonight. And here we go.
Absolutely. Everybody please do. And somehow we're going to get back to football here because Jesse Steffel takes the handoff to the right side. Nice run on first down to the 24. Tackled on the play by number 21, Nathan Moon. So the Lynx got a lot of work to do here, down 17. Need to score quick.
And running the ball, you get that running the ball is, but when you keep it on the ground like that, it's gonna eat that clock too, and you don't have a lot of clock left with 9:15 to go.
Second down and 2. Going to hand it off again, first down. And it seems kind of funky to already be talking about the clock here with over 9 minutes left, but you need to score, and you need to score quick. The Lynx have really only given up 2 long drives. That last drive, obviously, as we know, took a long time on going 4 downs. But if the Lynx can get in the end zone quick here against Roosevelt defense, I know that's tough. But, if they get a stop, you never know. But they got to score here in the next 2 or 3 minutes. Johnson, right side. Another nice run to the 40. Moon again on the tackle. Gain about 9.
And defensively, they're the right thing to do on a pretty close game is to run the ball here. But that time is always against you now. And the issue is that they're going to play a safety high because the fact is that they don't want to give up the long ball.
2nd and 1. Skolton's going to let her fly deep down the left side. McCann between his arms, incomplete. Good throw by Skolton. And it would have been a tough catch to make with good coverage. Tucker Large had it covered like a blanket, but boy, if McCann would have caught that one, that would have been a huge play.
And I do like that play call that on 2nd down and short, they are going for that home run shot there, because now you're at 3rd down and manageable. But like we talk about, 8:13 to go in the ball game, down 24-7 is your Lynx.
Only goes down as an incompletion, but probably Skolton's best throw of the day. 3rd and 1. They give it to Johnson. Johnson muscles his way to the 45-yard line. 1st down, Brandon Valley.
And that will stop the clock at 8:06 as all 1st downs are the stoppage of clock until they reset the ball. And so your Lynx are driving at spurts here, little spurts, but they got to try to hit that home run. They got to continue to make that safety play high and not coming down to the box.
Vegans out. Cilliuson, the quickster, is in. I formation with Hansen in there. 1st down. Oh, boy. Johnson is absolutely crushed in the backfield by Devontae Murphy. Big-time defensive play by this great Roosevelt defense.
5'10", 285-pound defensive tackle, a senior, Devontae Murphy. He met him in the backfield and
like you used to say, he was met, my friend.
right.
Whew. So 2nd and long. Lynx got to score fast. Steffel, right side, shoves away Joey Hughes, but Hughes is going to get the tackle. Nice run on 2nd down. It'll be 3rd and 8.
That clock's winding down. You got 6:50 to go in this ball game. They got to start trying to get some air time from that quarterback in Skolton. They have to get chunks of yards here.
Cole Siegfried just moved to the right as the tight end at the line. Here's a play fake from Tommy. He's looking for Cilliuson, throws it, and it's incomplete on the coverage for Roosevelt. Bennett Yellowbird, a sophomore, good coverage. And I'm not a big football expert, but I think that was thrown just a little bit too late.
Yeah, and that's going to be, a forced punt there. And to me, you have to try to get the middle of the field, and the Lynx just haven't tried to get to that middle of the field yet.
Other than running the ball, they haven't even tried.
Yeah, in the passing game.
Sorensen has had a great day punting. And this one might have been deflected. This was the 3rd snap that skipped to Sorensen in this game on a punt.
And now that you say that, it is. You got to really, try to get. That's going to be practice time. That's always practice time, and getting the long snapper to get because that could come into play here in the future in future games. Is that if that kicker doesn't or that punter doesn't handle that low snap, that rolling snap, that's a big turnover for a team.
First down for Roosevelt. Bourne, not much doing there. He was met at the line of scrimmage. Kroenke was there. Nice play defensively. And there's really not much else to say. Lynx need to stop. They need to stop fast. And Roosevelt, I think, is just going to keep running and running and running.
Oh, they will, and they're going to bury that clock. They're going to get it down to where they can manage the play clock here and bring it down to 1 to 2 seconds, I would anticipate, and then snap the ball. The time is on their side, big time.
Second and 10, handoff to Bourne. This time he gets a little bit of space, pushes his way for 3 yards. And the next play snapped will be under 5 minutes to go, and the Lynx are just running out of time.
They are.
3 timeouts left for Brandon Valley.
And it's almost like, we talked about staying true to your game and running the ball, but it comes a point where you just got to take I always say the train wheels off, and let Thomas Skolton just start winging the ball out. Keep him in the pocket and let him throw.
And it's tough losing Altoff, but the Lynx will have to do something. In fact, their only touchdown drive of this game was without him. Third and 7. Pressure. He's rolling. And it is intercepted. Intercepted by Jackson Hilton. Hilton heads to the right side of the 50. He's to the 40, and he's out of bounds at the 39-yard line. Flag on the play. It was a late flag.
Yeah.
Big turnover.
It's going to be a personal foul. Yeah, it's going to be an illegal block on that return.
Yep.
You're going to have another player down. They called a blindside hit, and it was a massive blindside hit. That's where you saw. Yeah, that's why you saw the Brandon Valley Lynx sideline come unglued on that, because it was. You never want to say there's a cheap shot or anything like that, but it was very questionable.
So I didn't get a number, so I'm not quite sure who's on the field. But as soon as we find out, we'll let you know.
But we did talk about how when you flush Dannenbring to his left.
And that is Dannenbring down there.
Yeah, when you flush him to his left, you know what happens. He's floating the ball. He's just trying to make something happen. That's an ill-advised throw. If he's outside the pocket, I understand that he's trying to make a play. But as a quarterback, you got to understand that you're outside the pocket. You can just throw it out of bounds now. You're not going to get anything.
Yeah, and his day might be done. And if it is, it was a pretty good day. 9 of 18, 188 yards, 2 touchdowns, the interception. And it's going to be a blindside block, so this is going to move the ball back to the Lynx side of the field. So it'll be first down from the 42, but Lynx, they need to take a couple shots here.
They do. Use that middle of that field.
They'll probably give it to you at this point. 3-possession game. But it just needs to be over the first down marker so this clock can stop. First and 10, Brandon Valley, 42-yard line. Here's a play fake from Tommy. And he's going deep over the middle of the field. Good call, Ken, and it's caught. Oh, no, it's dropped. Oh, Ty McCann had it right between the wickets. Tucker Large on the coverage. And if that was a spear, Ty McCann might be dead right now. It was a great throw by Skolton.
That middle of the field is wide open. Continue to attack it. Now attack it from the other side. Now bring it to the other side. The safety, they're not respecting your deep ball, so make them respect it. They're calling a timeout now because they're confused on their coverage. They don't, to me, they're probably thinking here, they don't know what kind of coverage to sit in that middle of the field because they haven't been doing it all game.
As a reminder, at the end of the game,
Tommy Skolton has had 2 passes in this second half. They were by far his 2 best throws, and they're both incompletions.
Yeah, that
so
was
tough for Tommy. I think Tommy's played a lot better than his numbers say right now. He's 6 of 15, 49 yards, but I bet you he's left. Some on him, some not. Probably over 150 yards of passing out on incompletions today. The 2 early that were over the wide receiver's head, Altoff and McCann, and then that one, and then there was one on another drive. But let's get to our sponsors here.
And the Harry Buck team at Heg Realtors, Alliance Communications, the Brandon Valley Journal, Brandon Taco John's, McKinney Olson Insurance, the Brandon Valley Area Chamber of Commerce, the First National Bank, the Pizza Ranch, the Brandon Community Foundation, Shoneman Construction, the Brandon Valley Athletic Boosters Club. Thank you.
Well, we don't have the numbers for the Cube or the 226, but there's currently 163 of you watching on YouTube. Thanks, guys. Tommy Skolton's going to take off and run. He's to the 45-yard line. They're going to have to hurry here. We're getting to the 4-minute mark. Lynx down 17. They're going to have to hurry it up. Tellinghusen coming across the field into the slot. Skolton. This play will not count as the pass is caught by Siliuson. There's going to be a flag on the play, and it's going to be a holding penalty against Kroenke.
And he's upset. I didn't see it.
Well, it's going against Jared Vanderbush. Yeah, I know he's not too happy with the call, but I saw it, and he tackled him to the ground.
All right.
But you're a coach. Like, you understand that you have to do that sometimes to protect your quarterback. Like, you'll take the penalty.
Right. You're just protecting him, and you understand that you take the penalty to save your quarterback, even if it is for the next game. You're saving him.
Yeah.
Because one hit can make his whole season unravel real quick.
And that penalty was at the spot of the foul, and at that situation, Vanderbush was behind quarterback Skolton. So you're talking about 10 yards plus another 10 yards. The Lynx are going to be taking this snap darn near Laverne right now at this point.
And
they're not even on state lines anymore.
And we'll see if they keep their linebackers at home, and they're going to. There is no blitz.
3rd and 24. Pass is caught by Tellinghusen. Great catch. Tellinghusen's had a very nice game, 2 very good plays. That great tip-tap on the sideline will make it at least 4th and manageable. It'll be about 4th and 13. And then he had, really, it wasn't the touchdown, but he had a play that set up the touchdown, obviously.
And we'll see if Roosevelt brings a backer here and maybe run that screen, see how they have that 3-receiver set out there, but it doesn't look like the formation of the set. It's going to predicate a screen there.
4th and 13, ball game right here. Here comes pressure. Skolton running out of trouble. And he just has to flip it to Siliuson. And it's incomplete. Tommy running off the field with his shaking his hand and his head, at least a little bit. Roosevelt will take over, and sorry to say, folks, looks like Roosevelt's got this one in the bag with 3:29 to go.
They'll run that clock down, and I believe they'll have a backup quarterback in number 10.
Yep. Yeah, I think it's smart. I think it's smart for Roosevelt to keep Dannenberg out of this game. Ajay Bowden is in the game now for the Rough Riders. And I believe that's Feldkamp in the backfield. Oh, nope. They're going to take a direct snap for Feldkamp. Flag on the play. Boy, Brandon Valley played tough in this game, didn't they, though? I thought they played very tough.
I mean, there's a couple shots, and really what really unraveled them, remember, it was a 17-10 game at one point, and all of a sudden that kickoff return, okay, was it a punt or a kickoff return? I can't remember, but anyways, where there was a fumble.
Yep, it was on a kickoff,
and that gave Roosevelt's offense tremendous field position, and that's where it turned.
Yep, we had just made it 10-7, and then they scored to make it 17-7. And we knew we had to score quickly as the handoff goes to the left side, not much there. And that really, that just took the wind out of everybody's sails. Down 17-7, you need to get a good return, and you end up fumbling. First down from the 12, they score again. And the Lynx are going to take a timeout with 3:13 to go.
And so they want to put up points. They want the ball back to get some points, and I don't know how that all pans out. The statistician, Todd, you probably could tell me if if points count in anything, and he says no. So maybe it's just giving your offense another set of reps, going into next game or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But the turnover battle was 1 turnover to 0. I know Brandon Valley fumbled another one earlier in the ball game, but regained the ball back on that same fumble.
Yeah.
But really the turnover, and we just talked about it, the turnover is what split everything in half. Because it was a 1-score game. It was anybody's ball game at that point, and all of a sudden, bam, that happens. And that's called football.
Yeah, and I talked about this a little bit. Obviously, we were kind of worried about the injury on the field. Unfortunately, we don't have any updates for you on that. But Brandon Valley, as we've seen the last 3 years, they're a team that gets better as the year goes on. And I think that if Brandon Valley, if they continue to improve and have that upward slide like they have as a run for Aaron Kussler, they're going to, if they run in the playoffs into a Washington, into a Roosevelt, into a Lincoln, I think they're going to be okay. They've played every single team tough, and we've seen situations where they've gotten blown out at the beginning of the year against the Sioux Falls School. They come back later in the year, and it's a tightly contested ball game. The Lynx can play with this Roosevelt team, and there's no doubt in my mind about it.
And they did. They did for three quarters. I mean, they really did.
Yep.
Three quarters in about 3 minutes. And like we said, the turnover happens. Really, typically, when you win the turnover battle in football, you win the ball game. I mean, that's just the way it goes. And the field position turned at that point, and everything started unraveling. I know that we had a pretty big injury, and it's with the player being down, and that kind of hurts things too, because the wind kind of the sails. I mean, your emotion goes from way high as a teammate to it's got to go sober.
Yeah, and you can talk all you want about, hey, we got to worry about what's on the field right now. Mm-hmm. It's not just in the back of the minds of Brandon Valley players and fans. It's Roosevelt's players are thinking about it. Their coaches, their fans. So just hope everything's going to be okay. Jump pass incomplete, intended for Bowden, as it is Aaron Kussler that is in at quarterback. I think I said Bowden was in at quarterback because he was in the backfield for one play. But it is Kussler. Him and his brother have had a couple of pretty good games so far as well.
So get this from two coaching staffs here, Kyle.
Yeah, sure.
So I'm gonna laugh a little bit. So Brandon Valley calling timeouts with a little over 3 minutes to go, 20 down, 24-7. Okay. You're calling it. You got him in your pocket. We talked about.
Yeah.
But how about Roosevelt throwing on third down?
And they're going to run on fourth down.
3 minutes to go.
And the Lynx do get a stop.
Wow.
Hansen tackles
On the carry, number 8,
Kussler. And it's a turnover on downs, plural form. So Skolton's going to come back in here.
Will take over on downs, ball be spotted at the
Hoping for a miracle.
line. First down and 10, Lynx.
Down 17. With 2:51 to go, first down. First and 10 from the 35. Flag on the play. Delay of game?
Well, I don't know how to be a delay a game.
Oh, yeah. 12 men on the field. And that's going to go against Roosevelt. Well, for a game that started very, very quickly, boy, has it slowed down in this fourth quarter, Ken.
Oh, boy. In the last 3 minutes.
I have to go to work at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, so I want to make sure I get at least a couple hours of sleep. Skolton over the middle, pass is tipped, incomplete. So in and out of the hands of Cilliuson. That has been a trend in this game. Some drop passes for the Lynx have not helped Skolton. And it'll be second down. So it'll be 2nd and 5 with 2:46 left. Skolton 7 of 18 in this game for just 61 yards, but I can't quite put all 11 of those incompletions on him. There was a couple of overthrows in the first quarter that were just about a half a step too tall for Altoff and McCann, and a couple of drop passes here in the fourth quarter. I'm just going to come out and say this has gotten quite sloppy here in the last 5 minutes. And it kind of just feels like both teams just want to see triple zeros. Skolton's going to roll. Incomplete. Intended for Cilliason, knocked away very nicely by Joey Hughes. And it'll bring up 3rd and 5.
2:39 to go in this big matchup, as we talked about, the number 1 team in the state and coming into town. And, you know, we played with them for the first 3 quarters and some minutes, and things kind of unraveled after that big turnover.
Yeah, I had some questions about this Lynx defense in this game on 3rd and 5. Skolton is going to roll. Now he's going to roll back to the left. He's going to take off and run. He's going to get the first down. Slides down at the 48-yard line. I didn't have any question about Roosevelt's defense because I knew that they were a quality. I learned a lot about this Lynx defense. This defense is legit.
Right.
They are good. They held Roosevelt to under 300 yards of total offense. Roosevelt got the short field and scored twice, a touchdown and a field goal. So I like this defense. And this defense is going to get you a long way as Skolton's going to take off and run for his life again. He's tackled on the play by Eli Lonehart. 2 minutes to go.
And a little bit what you're seeing out of the spread offense is Tommy's able to use his legs a little bit, and going forward, you always got to think about what you can do going forward. And I know you traditionally, or whatever you want to call it, want to have a running back there, but it forces defenses when you have 4 receivers out to 5 receivers out.
Skolton's going to run again, and again he's got a first down, and he slides down to the 39-yard line. Once again, before our broadcast ends, we want to thank our sponsors, Harry Buck Team, Hake Realtors, Alliance Communication, First National Bank, Pizza Ranch, Brandon Community Foundation, McKinney Olson Insurance, Brandon Chamber of Commerce, Shoneman Construction, Brandon Valley Athletic Booster Club, the Brandon Valley Journal, and Taco John's. 1:34 to play. Skolton is going to roll. Flag on the play, and he's sacked. Sacked on the play by number 15, Tug Ernster. Hard, even if you gave it to Roosevelt, hard to really pick an MVP for this game, which we kind of always do. I thought Jesse Steffel for the Lynx had a great game, offensively and defensively.
And he needed to. It's just, you know,
Some scouts here for him, too. One at Iowa State is here watching him tonight.
Really?
Yeah.
And, you know, as we talked about who's going to win the ball game for these teams, and we talked about Feldkamp, we talked about Steffel, but really both teams played tremendously defensively, and hats off to both teams on that. It's just, we always talk about turnovers.
First and a nautical mile, pass to the right side is incomplete in the turf. Intended for number 19, Tellinghusen.
Second down and long.
And what we learned, you know, and the unfortunate thing with we were talking about Jesse is that he has to go both ways. I mean, he's a tremendous defender too. At some point, you pull him off the defense and be your number 1 weapon on offense, because I think he can. If he plays one side of the ball, he's going to be even bigger on that side of the ball.
Skolton goes down. Sacked by number 44, Tristan Johnson. Under a minute to go here. Final score is going to be 24-7 unless the Lynx do something fast here. Something tells me that the Lynx are going to see either Washington or Roosevelt or O'Gorman later in the year. And honestly, no, we lost by 3 possessions, but I'm not too intimidated at this point. Roosevelt is a very good team with a very good defense, but I don't think the Lynx brought their best offensively. Over the middle, Cole Siegfried. I think that's his first catch of the game. Makes a couple of tackles. Gets back to the original line of scrimmage. Gain of 16. Actually, it was more than 16. So this will probably be the last play of the game, if they even get it off. They will. Final play of the game. Skolton's going to just chuck it into the end zone. And it is intercepted on the play. And Joey Hughes should just go down here. Only thing that can come with this is trouble. And this game is over. Final score, the Roosevelt Rough Riders defeat the Brandon Valley Lynx in a defensive battle, 24-7. Very close game almost all the way throughout, but Roosevelt pulls ahead in the fourth quarter. Ken, anything else for you?
A couple things you learned about tonight is Brandon Valley's defense, even the score, like Kyle said, the score doesn't say it. They're real. Offensively, we need some work, and that's just going to come with experience, and I truly believe that at the end of the day, this offense is going to run through, and I know we have high praise for Tommy Skolton a lot, but my belief is that it has to run through Jesse Steffel, getting the ball and getting at least 20 carries a game.
Absolutely.
100%.
Before we sign off here, everybody before you go to bed tonight, say a quick prayer for Mark Muchkanaus. We don't have any information about where he is. We're assuming he went to the hospital. We're not 100% sure. So once again, your final score, the Brandon Valley Lynx 24, or excuse me, I'm so used to the Lynx winning at home. Not this time, unfortunately. The Roosevelt Rough Riders defeat the Lynx 24-7. For Ken McCune, I'm Kyle Roki. We'll see you next time on Lynx TV.